Come on.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today we're going to talk about, you heard me, you see it in the title, Punta Cana pre-construction condo, a 1-bedroom, a special price for only $119,000. Yes. And what makes it even better? Inside Vista Cana. Can you believe it? When you want to know what else that makes me get giggly? It's across the street from the second man-made beach. Oh my, that's an asset. And of course, it's SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. So that means we're talking about assets, ladies and gentlemen, that you control. And you have to start thinking about outside of the United States. No matter what happens, real estate market, once the Federal Reserve reduces their interest rate, you know what's going to happen. There will be a bull run on the stock market and a bull run on the real estate game. So get yourself prepared early. And Punta Cana is one of the hot spots as far as tourism goes. And since it is the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream, welcome. Stop struggling now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, mic check, mic check. Make sure you share the videos. If you can't get in the chat room, I'm sorry, but on Wednesday nights, only members with the icon, members of the channel can be in the chat room. Everybody can watch. Everybody can share the videos. Everybody can join our WhatsApp group. I'll put a link down below in the chat room in a second. So then that way you can get in contact with me, because my company, SSN Lifestyle, SRL, is in the Dominican Republic, and we are sub-brokers for this company. So that means we might be able to get you, you know, the SSN Nation deal. That's all I can tell you, the SSN Nation deal. So I will have to do a few things first, because once again, only members can be in the chat room tonight. And so I will put the WhatsApp link in the chat room. So then that way, later on, after this live stream, I am the admin of the group. So you can reach out to me and you can say hello to everybody in the chat room. I do have to approve you. So here we go. Let's start off with the first things first. In case people do not understand where this 1-bedroom is, it's in a place called Vista Cana in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, on an island that shares the same island with Haiti, but it's on the eastern coast. All right. That is where Punta Cana is. And that's also where Punta Cana Airport is, the #1 tourist airport in the DR. What do I mean by that? 60% of all tourists that come to the Dominican Republic land at Punta Cana International Airport. That means you have an advantage if you plan on renting for tourism purposes. Now, there's a lot of other great things as well. If you like cruises, well, they are breaking all-time record numbers for cruises as well. Every month, there is a new all-time record for the last year and a half, over a year and a half. So I suspect this June, when the numbers come out for the June 2024 numbers, I suspect it will break last June's record for the amount of tourists that came to the island. But just remember, they're still holding around 60% to 6. Generally, it ranges from 59% to around 66%, depending on the month, of the amount of tourists that land at Punta Cana Airport. PUJ, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me see who's in the house tonight. Make sure you smash that like button, no matter if you can or can't get in the chat room. Make sure you join our WhatsApp group. I will have to approve you after the live stream or whenever I run a, let's call it an SSN lifestyle commercial. If you want to join us in December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, because you say, you know what, I'm a little new to this. I want to come and meet like-minded people, maybe even talk to lawyers, bankers, maybe understand the lay of the land, drive around and see what's happening. Well, you need to come December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. You come to our SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum. Go to SSN Lifestyle. It's $199 per person, and that's for the first 5 people. There's only 4 slots left. It pays to get in early. After the first 5, then it's $249.99. All right, just letting you know, get in early. So then we know how many people are coming earlier, the better. Because make sure you stay. If you're Airbnb-ing, make sure you stay. You don't have to, but I'm just saying, if you stay by La Bruja in that vicinity known as Los Corrales in Punta Cana, we usually have pickup or meeting areas in that area. So we can say, hey, at 10 a.m., you should be at La Bruja, for instance. Makes it nice and simple as a marker. All right. There's nothing downtown that you can stay in right now except for Central Park. And there's nothing downtown. What I mean by that is if you're at Central Park and you need something to eat, like or a grocery store, there isn't one. All right. Now, there's one that is about 300 yards away, which is the Jumbo Market, maybe 400 yards away. So, I mean, there's not like zero, but once you're in a place, you know, when you start walking and it's more than about 3 or 4 football fields, that starts being a little bit farther. So you got to get a car is all I'm trying to say. So stay in Los Corrales. You have everything there. Restaurants, mini marts, grocery stores. Everything's there, right? You don't have to go no more than 100 yards. That's all I'm saying. So it makes things nice and easy for now. In about 3 years, downtown will probably be the place to stay along with Los Corrales, because then the infrastructure downtown will be built. Let's see who's in the house tonight. We have Victor Marrero here, soon to be retiree, T-minus about a week to go. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And of course, he has that icon next to his name because that's the only way he can be in the Wednesday night live stream. And I thank you so much for that support. And he brings his tagline, hello all, let's do this. And that's what we do, ladies and gentlemen. This 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom on the 2nd level, $119,000 to be delivered allegedly in 19 months. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me correctly. Across the street, and as I was about to say, Vista Cana, Punta Cana is a gated community in itself. You come in the gates. There are man-made beaches, salt water. The first one's already made. The 7 Palms project, where the $119,000 condo is, it's across the street from the 2nd man-made beach that they just now have started constructing. That man-made beach area has its own beach club. At the first beach club, what do they have there? They have Yak Lounge, which is a bar. I guess they have snacks there, you know, coffee, whatever. And then there's 2 restaurants. One is called Volare. Then there's a big old pool. The pool, I would have to guess, measures probably about 25 yards wide by about 20 yards long, something along that line. You have loungers out there. You have fitness. the aerobic fitness center out there. You have the kids' little playground out there, the child's kiddie pool, parking, and you have a freshwater lake with a little island on it, a man-made island, the fishing club, which also has restrooms out there, and you can barbecue out there. That's right. They got things going on. You want to go horseback riding? That's right. The equestrian center is also inside Vista Cana, and they have horseback riding available right now. You want to go play 9 holes of executive golf? Well, you got to pay for the golf and you got to pay for the equestrian, but they're available right now. You want to rent a little scooter? It's at the Vista Cana Beach Club. And the second man-made beach, once that's built, probably in about 2.5 years, there will be another Vista Cana Beach Club, and they will have restaurant, cafe, and whoever knows what else. It'll be similar to the first one because the second man-made beach is twice as big as the first one. All right. So hopefully that helps you. And Victor Marrero, soon to be retiree, will be Mr. Worldwide here shortly, ladies and gentlemen. And he has invested in the Dominican Republic market. Another person, Yahweh J, has invested in a new project that I will be talking about on Friday. And that will be Macau Ranch. That's right. Can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? Out by Macau, there is, if you like horses, there's Macau Ranch. They also are going to have horses, stables, and things like that. But it's no Vista Cana, that's for sure, because that's all they have, along with their little clubhouse, which will have a restaurant and a pool. But Vista Cana going to have a sports complex as well. You want tennis lessons? They're going to have a tennis pro, and they're going to have tennis courts. You play paddleball, pickleball, they're going to have those courts. You bring in your skateboard, they're going to have a skateboard park. You play soccer, they have 2 full-size soccer fields, full-size baseball, full-size basketball, and a pool. That's going to be at the sports complex, and that also will have a sports bar and deli. All right. How cool is that? Walking trails for you? They have the walking trails. They have the cycling trails. All I'm saying is there's a community, and now they have Aston School. That's right. There's going to be a school inside the gates, and guess what? It's right behind, not right behind, but it's on the same side of Vista Cana as the Seven Palms Beach Club. That's this 1-bedroom, the price. So let's get into it, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Yahweh J is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon. I greatly appreciate Yahweh J. And like I said, a real estate investor. He says, hello, SSN Nation. Hope everyone is doing well. Received the notification, saw the trailer, and he gave a 1 piece and smashed that like button, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to thank you so much for that, because that's what we love. All right. That's what we do. Here's Seven Palms on the screen. We're about to get into that. We're about to show you. Hey, Eric, just email you a link of the construction progress of Galaxy at Cana Rock. I am supposed to close in March. Victor Marrero, I can tell you right now. But it doesn't look like it will all be done by then. Maybe summer 2025. Okay, I'll check it out, man. After, yeah, I'll pull up some emails. But the thing is with them, I haven't seen the video, but I was always predicting December 2025, best case scenario. But hey, if it's going to be 12 months from now, so be it. That would be great after all this time. So hopefully they can get it done in the next 12 months. We can see, once we see the video, we'll know, right? So here's the Seven Palms luxury, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to explain something, and it's going to be very, very cool. So check this out. Let's just go down this list. All right. It's not at the ocean. All right. Just disregard these renderings. It's nowhere near any ocean. All right. It's interior. It's inside Vista Cana. 268 apartments. So here's the thing. All these, you can see the water, the man-made beach is going to be across the street. This is not a highway. What this is this is just a 2-lane road in front of the man-made beach. And also the one thing about the Seven Palms, the security gate is like 100 yards away. So think, and it's secured, right? So every car has to stop at the gate. So that's like an automatic stop sign. All right. So there's a delay. So some people may think that there's going to be a lot of cars where you can't cross the street, but there's going to be a delay for cars to even come in. So there's always going to, if they're a guest, they have to stop. They have to take their ID. They hold it until they leave. If you're a owner, you have to stop. You have to tag the sensor with your card and then wait for the arm to go up. So either way, there's a delay. So it's not like there's going to be just a traffic jam rolling through. So you'll be able to cross the street. And by the way, everybody has to cross the street. What I mean by that is, if you don't live across from, imagine you live behind the Seven Palms complex. So again, everybody that lives behind, which is everybody, has to come up and cross the street. So it's no big deal. All right, just saying. All right, so this is just giving you like a rendering. This is a view. This is what the Seven Palms luxury looks like. And I'm going to go back to this picture here. The units that are 119,000, there's only 3 of them. If you're interested in them, I suggest you get in contact with me ASAP using the WhatsApp link that's in the chat room. All right, the units are roughly, this is it's the first unit on the corner. All right. Then it's the second unit. All right. And then it's the second unit over. So this one, 2, not 3, the 4th one over. So it goes 1, 2, and number 4. Those are the ones that are currently 119,000. It's a special deal right now. They're 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom with a balcony. And so we'll get into it a little bit further. But I just want to let you know, it's not like there's a bunch of them and you do not have beach view. So they call this the backyard. So that's what this is. You're just going to be overlooking the parking lot. But as soon as you leave your unit, you'll be across the street, or you can be at your little clubhouse / pool area hanging out. So take your pick. Now, let's keep moving. Just wanted to make sure you guys understand and have it straight. Oh, and one last thing. On this lot over here is Seven Palms Adventure. It's built a little bit differently, but they still have 2nd, 3rd floor beach view units starting at $140,000 for 1 bedrooms. Just letting you know. All right. Now, here we go. I'll keep moving along. Again, disregard. This is renderings. All right. Here you can see exactly what the corner looks like. It's gated, like I said, with the little security area, with the little lobby area. And here's the pool. Again, there is the second man-made beach across the street, but it is not an ocean. All right. It's just a man-made beach. This is luxury, Seven Palms luxury. All right. So again, all this is renderings. It hasn't been built yet. It's going to be built in roughly about 20 to 23 months, about my estimation, somewhere in there. They keep saying that they're on schedule. I keep pressing them about the schedule, right? All right. So again, there's like little seating, co-working areas, seating areas, as they call it. This is because they show the golf, again, because of the 9-hole executive golf course, the only nighttime golf course in the Caribbean. And once again, these are renderings of the pool area, the little seating, gazebo areas. Once again, parking. And here's just the area, the convenience of the area. All right. Keep in mind, there will be a commercial zone inside Vista Cana. And then right at the beginning of Vista Cana, they are putting in a shopping zone, meaning stores. All right. So stores are going to be close by. Restaurants are already inside Vista Cana. So again, this is all nice. Cigar lounge, which I forgot about. The fishing club I told you about. So here's what we got. I told you about the horses. I told you about the sports zone. I didn't tell you about the park for pets and the park for the infants and children. The park for the children are behind the Vista Cana Beach Club. The walking trail, the Sendero, and park area And here's the sports complex. This is one of the renderings. So just to give you an idea, but there is a skate park as well. It's been redesigned a little bit to include a skateboard park. All right. And this is actually a picture of the entrance. This is really what the entrance coming off of Highway 105. This is what it looks like. Seven Palms, where this $119,000 one-bedroom unit is going to be, is at the second entrance. All right. Just so you know, it's not too far from the second entrance. Like I say, I would estimate it's got to be like 100 yards, 150 yards down, I think. It's somewhere like that, all right, from the corner of where they're going to be building Seven Palms. It's something like that. All right, this is renderings. Just keep in mind, this is just a rendering, all right? One bedroom, that's what this looks like. We'll see it's not marked, but this looks like a small enough place. One bedroom, one bathroom, 56 square meters. Here you go. Right here. It's this simple right here, ladies and gentlemen. Just so you know, this is what you're talking about. Very simple. This is clearly on the bottom floor, though, I believe. So that's why it may have a little bit bigger balcony or like a little terrace space. That looks like greenery to me. I don't know if that's the bottom floor, but it doesn't say. But anyhow, this is the configuration for the one bedroom, one bath with a kitchen. All right. It's that simple. Very easy, very simple, nothing crazy. And clearly this is the bottom floor, right? All right. First level. Here's the first level unit. This one is bigger and it is not 119,000. So we'll move along. All right. This is also on the bottom. This is clearly bottom level. Here we go. This is a 1+1. You can only get a 1+1. They cost more, but 1+1s are on the first level and or penthouse units. All right. Penthouse unit 1+1 is $249,000 and it has two bathrooms. The 1+1 on the bottom floor only has one bathroom. Just keep that in mind. All right. Here we go. First level, one bedroom, but this is a penthouse. First level on the penthouse unit. All right. One bathroom, kitchen. Everything's almost the same, except now you have a bigger terrace, just like downstairs. But you can see right here where you have stairs to go up, come upstairs. All right. So there you go. This is the nice design. You go upstairs and second level, another bathroom and another bedroom. So a 1+1 is two bedrooms, two bathrooms, and I see a jacuzzi. But you're going to have to pay extra for the jacuzzi. All right? You're going to have to pay extra for the white line. What is white line? The kitchen. All right? See, this is pre-installation. Pre-installation for barbecue. Pre-installation for jacuzzi. Great, but it's not included. All right? Just keep that in mind. There we go. Making this nice and easy. Here's the payment plan. 20, 40, 40. 20% down, 40% during construction, 40% on delivery. But what if it's different than that? You want to know something? There is something I did not bring up, but I'm going to actually show you. And let me see if there's anybody that's made any comments. Oh, man, I didn't send this. Damn it. God dog it. I have to do something real quick, ladies and gentlemen. But nonetheless, we'll get to it in a second. There's a special payment plan if you don't like the 20, 40, 40. Maybe you'll like something a little different. It's just for these. I kind of like it, but some people may not like it. But hey, it is what it is. So we will get to that in a second. Let me see if anybody has any comments. Victor Marrero, he says something. He says, hey, Eric, just emailed you. Oh, the progress of the galaxy. Okay. All right. Make sure you guys smash the like button. All right. Make sure you share the videos. There's people out here. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. You will have to qualify on the other side. So to get started, you're just putting at 0%. You're putting in 10%, let's say. On our example I'm about to show you, it's going to be 10%. All right. You know, they have a SSN Nation already built in. SSN Nation payment plan already built in, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to love that, right? I do. I love it. They already did it for us. But there's a little caveat. So I'll get into that here in a short bit. All right. And I'll put this link. That's only going to be good for 3 days. This is going to expire at around 7 p.m. Eastern time on the 6th of July. This link that I have in the chat room. All right. So let me go pull this up right now. Let me get this. Well, there's a couple of things I need to do. So I showed you this. No problem. I showed you this on the brochure. And some of you may be in New York, Santo Domingo, Boston, Orlando. Hey, they have offices, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Madrid, Beijing. How cool is that? Right? Can't complain. Let me do this. Guess I'll. And delivery February 2026 is one of the delivery dates. There may be more, but what I'm about to show you is a little different. All right. But I got to take this off. So that's that in a nutshell. And don't forget, here we go. Victor Marrero. So 20-40-40 is more common way of payment plan now. No, not more 20-30-50. No, Victor Marrero. So basically 20-40-40 is the common payment plan, but we can generally get 20-30-50. All right, we can get that. Trying to get 10-30-60 or 10-25-65, that's the hard one. Although we have it, but you have to spend 146,000 to get that 10-25-65 deal. And you would have to buy like now. Just saying, that's going to expire. It should have already expired, but they let it hold over, so it may be doable. I'm going to show the payment plan. I'm going to show you a payment plan that's going to be very interesting. Where is it? Well, that's not what I wanted to show you. So I've changed up a little bit. I'm going to change up since you brought it up, only because I wanted to show you guys on the screen exactly what it is that you see. Units 21, right? Oh, that's not going to work. You see units 21. No, that is going to work. 22 and 24. A21, A22, A24. Those are the ones that are 119,999. All right. So what else am I going to do? Everybody can see it. 21, 22, and 24. Yes, the first two and that one, yeah, they overlook, but it is what it is. At least you can walk around. Or I guess you can come down through here, but nonetheless, here's the road. This is the security to come in. So it's all good. Anyhow, those are the ones that are there's 3 of them. First phase coming up. So can't complain about that, right? I'm going to put this link in the chat room, not the one that you see on the screen. This is the payment plan. So this, what I'm putting in the chat room, also expires July 6th at 6:30. All right, p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check this payment plan out. This is incredible. Oh, that's different. All right, this will be interesting. This will be great. This will be good. This will be real good. No, it didn't do it. All right, let me download this thing. All right, so I'll bring this up in a second, the payment plan, so you guys can get excited after you see it. How many people can afford $1,000 per month? But there's a caveat, unfortunately. after putting down like 10%. So so Victor Marrero, 10% down, 1,000 per month. So if you do that payment plan, you know what's going to happen, right? Where's the, oh, here it is. This is special right here. So once I pull this up, which is taking a minute to get to, but this is special. If I'm just laughing because I already know what it is. And a lot of people can't, well, most likely won't do this. But here it is. It's special, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Check it out. Here we go. Let me get myself off the screen so people can see this. So here we are, A221. Remember, 21, 22, and 24. 15% down. How do we get 15% down? You got to reserve. So if you said, hey, I want unit A221, you would say you would have to send 5,000 to reserve. And then you got to put down another 10%, which is weird because that ends up being 13,000, but nonetheless. So now look at this. Victor Marrero, 30%, which is 35,997. So it seemingly is a good thing, but there's only 18 payments left. So you can see here what the situation is. August 15th, $1,000. Not bad. September 15th, $1,000. October 15th, $1,000. November 15th, $1,000. But look at this. Now you have to make up for the payment plan because it should be $2,000 per month, or actually $2,300 per month. So that $1,300 you're saving for 1, 2, 3, 4. What is that? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 months you're saving $1,300. Well, guess what? That 5th month is $1,300 plus whatever else, and they want a lump sum, $998. $9,998.50 on the 5th month. And then after that, it returns to $1,000 a month until December 2025, where you will owe another, let's call it $10,000. So that's how they make the payments low, but they giveth and they taketh away. Now, I will say this. If you are interested in this and you want to change payment plans and things like that, I can only recommend you can try. Because what I would be trying to do is I would be trying to move the 9,998, the $10,000. I'd be trying to move this as far back as I could. Why? Because let's face facts. It's 18 months from now. I got to be truthful about this. I don't see, look, they haven't started building yet. So me personally, I'm looking like, seriously, if I'm buying anything right now, just like I told Larimar, I said, hey, you better extend my contracts. I'm trying to figure out how I can get this to say, instead of January 2026, my last payment, I'm like, hey, man, make it August 2026. If you deliver before then I'll just make everything all do it at that time. But I'm like trying to eliminate paying the most amount of money up front. You're trying to pay the least amount of money up front. So, but they have this special payment plan. This is a good place to start. Just say, hey, how about if I pay $3,000 or $4,000 and move it back? Again, hit me up if you're interested in this, but this is a 15% down, 30% during construction, 55% on delivery. Not bad. All right, just saying. So there you go. And Clue Business, 7 Palms. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So let me know what you guys think. There it is. Something special just for you. All right. Let's see. You may be able to negotiate the closing percentage if the unit price is higher than 150K. Yeah, exactly. But this is 120,000 for a 1-bedroom. If you go After these 3 are gone, then everybody has to pay minimum. If you're on the second floor, like these, it's 140, 139.9. So it's 140,000. So you're losing 20,000 just by being able to say, hey, I want to be in the middle of the building or in a different unit, or in the second phase, meaning the Adventure project, Seven Palms Adventure, which is right next door. Here's the other caveat. If you own it, Seven Palms Luxury, right next door, the second phase is Seven Palms Adventure. You guys can use each other's amenities, which are generally the same. I mean, it's a pool area and fitness, I believe. And I mean, it's the same stuff. So, but nonetheless, maybe you like the other pool better than the other pool or something, but they're interchangeable. So that's not a problem. And if you do 150, which that would be the third floor 1 bedroom, that's $146,000. And again, you won't get this type of payment plan, so you'll have a traditional one. Like, well, we may be able to still get you a 10% down, 25% during construction payment plan if you buy a traditional unit, or we can always try to push for that same 10% down, 25% during construction. So this is why you need to come December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Go check out ssnlifestyle.com to our SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum, December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It's $199. And what do you get for that? First day, we go see lawyers. So whatever you want to do, if you want to discuss whatever you want to discuss, we sit there, we talk with 2 separate lawyers. They're not in the same time. We go to the first lawyer, and then we leave. We go to the second lawyer's office, all right? So you get perspectives from 2 different lawyers, or talk, because you never know. You might have forgot something. Now we're in another place you can ask. So generally what comes up, residency. What if I get my real estate in a company name? What's the advantages? What's the disadvantages? All kind of things come up. Last time, holding companies came up. You just, whatever you want to talk about. You don't pay anything additional. It's included. We're in these meetings sometimes. In November, we were in Glenny's office for like 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours. This last time we were at Glenny's office, probably about 2 hours, maybe 2.5. And we were at Johan's office, probably about only an hour and 15 minutes. All right. But you just never know what conversations are going to come up. So that's why we go see lawyers first. So then if you have any legal questions, you can ask. They don't even have to be your attorneys. It's included. The second day, we go to different locations, like we'll be at Vista Cana. We can drive through a little bit and go check things out. We'll go to another location, like we might be going to Atlanta, or we'll go to the Noval Beach Club. We'll give you the lay of the land. There'll always be something different, some new projects that come out. And on the third day, that day we can be flexible. We can go to other locations. We can go see bankers. Some of you may want to open up bank accounts. So that's why we'll already have you locked in, and you'll be approved while you're there to go open bank accounts and getting your banking relationship started. That helps you out greatly in the long run. So once again, this is what we do. This is the whole point, ladies and gentlemen. And again, it's all you. It's not like you have to be funneled through our people or whatever. We're giving you the tools where you find out everything. If you don't, you tell Johan's assistant, I want to open up a bank account at whatever, Banco Santa Cruz, Scotia Bank, your band reservists, or Banco Popular. It's up to you. We don't structure it. You don't have to pay us. You are putting $500 in a USD account at any of the banks. That's the minimum deposit. So you have 0% fees. Peso account ranges. It could be $50 or $60 or $100, but you should have both accounts, Peso and USD, because if you have USD, you get a debit card. Just saying. So now you have set yourself up, and you can go to any bank you want. You can go with any lawyers, but at least you have knowledge. So when somebody else is talking to you, at least you're like, wait a minute, that's not what the lawyer said. You know what I'm saying? So you have everything straight. All right. Victor Morrell says the 120k price include the white line. No. At Seven Palms, No white line. Nothing. So you're going to have to buy the appliance. You're going to have to buy the fridge, the oven, the range, and the hood, the extractor. Going to have to buy the extractor. So all of that is not included. So that's why the reduced price. And only on these 3 units. And they're still available as of right now. Just so you guys know. Actually, it just came out. When did it come out? Like yesterday evening? So, but only certain people's going to know about it. You have to be a broker with them. That's the only way you're going to know about it. So you guys have an advantage as usual. All right. Just letting you know. So how do you guys like that with a bang to start with? Make sure you smash that like button if you joined us and you can't get in the chat room. Unfortunately, on Wednesday nights, only members with the icon, like Victor Marrero, Jawed J, they're the only ones that can be in the chat room. Everybody else you can watch, or I'll do it again. I'll put it in the chat room, the WhatsApp group. You can join our WhatsApp group. I will not add you right now while we're on the live stream, but afterwards I will accept you into the group. So, I mean, I could actually do it, but you know, if you do sign up while we're on the live, then I'll add you. Then you can see some other things. You'll see everything that I showed you on the screen. Oh, let me go see here. Yeah, there's a few other things. I've been waiting on some things. Just a minute. I'm seeing something that I had to. Yeah, somebody did. Let me approve someone. I figured I better. Okay, there you go. I just approved somebody here, so you can see. Hey, Eric, are you heading back to the DR? No, I'm not heading back to the DR right now. I have to admit, the Dominican Republic, I am being disappointed by. I have to admit, I have some funds that are sitting over there that people owe me, and it's putting a serious hamper on my situation here in America. And I'm not too happy. Like I said, personally, when I did the SSN Lifestyle Music Festival, I basically funded it by myself. These guys didn't really help. Everybody over there had their hand out. Everybody that said that they were actually going to sponsor it and help out and things like that, they all, when it actually came time to do something, they all turned their backs and acted like they didn't say anything, acted like we didn't talk for more than 5 minutes about what they were going to do and things like this. So after that, I found out what time there everybody was on. It was basically, okay, Eric, you fund everything. We're going to help you, but it's ended up being you fund everything. So I basically funded the whole thing. And then I have IOUs and they don't want to give me my money back. So I have a situation with the way they do business there, not real estate, but it has to do with business overall. So I'm a little like, I'm not going back, wasting my money. So unless I get some returns on my investments that I put out. And I still, just like everybody knows, in case you're new here, there was a project that I loved, Shalom Village. Everybody's like, what's he talking about? Shalom Village, Punta Cana. Yeah, everybody's like, what's he? SHALEM, Shalem Village. I have a problem with Shalem Village. In Verone, Punta Cana. All right, I'll quit playing. AKA Larimar City. All right, it's been over 7 days. When I told you guys, I told them I want my money back. So they haven't responded, nobody. The legal department, Gennaro, their sales team, 2 sales department, customer service department. I don't know, 6 people were on the list that they gave me to send stuff to. So I CC'd all 6 with the same message. 0 of the 6 have contacted me. So once again, so we're in limbo with that. So no, I'm not heading back over there because now I'm a little more pissed than I was before. But nonetheless, this is why now I had to deal with certain people. And that's why I'm a broker for 7 Palms, because I'm like, okay, somebody else is holding funds, but these guys aren't. And so whoever's not holding funds, and I continue to do business with. Everybody else, let's just put it this way. Simple. All right. That's what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know when I get a little upset how it goes. And this right here, 7 Palms. I have something else from 7 Palms that I haven't released yet. It's going to be in Mishi's. So you're probably going to have to stay tuned for Friday. And on Friday night live stream at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the chat room is open to everybody. And at 8 p.m., 7:55 p.m. on Friday, InstaVid AI Oscar is going to be back showing us the latest updates for InstaVid AI and social media short-term video making using AI, using a question and answer platform, but that question and answer platform could be turned into something else. So it's beautiful. So, and you can actually invest in this InstaVid AI as a friends and family rate. I thought we would easily get to the number that they wanted to get to. So that's why I never really talked about it, except about 5 times. But if you want to do something, well, there you go. We'll talk about a lot of different things. All right, damn, Eric, sorry to hear that. I'm sure you have some good lessons learned. It has happened to me as well here in USA. That's why I always ask for the money up front, strictly business, no favors. Exactly. But in this case, my problem was I was utilizing their services, and we're talking about I had to give them money to facilitate the situation, right? So like bond money, right? That in case something happens, then you have money there, and if nothing happens, they're supposed to return the money back, right? Well, here it is, almost 2 months, no money's come back. This kind of stuff. You see, that's what I'm referring to. Other stuff like you call somebody up, and like we needed the musical instruments, because when the artists come, they don't bring their whole DJ set. They can't bring it on a plane. There's nothing you can do. They can't bring like amplifiers, keyboards, and all this stuff. So I have to rent them. So I find out that when I was going around to ask, like, let's just call it company number 1, how much is it to rent this equipment? I'd send them over the stuff. Then I would go to company 2, company 3, company 4. Company 4, company 3 would send me these crazy numbers like $3,000 a day, $4,000 a day. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Then another guy sends me like $2,500. Another guy sends me like $3,000 a day for renting 6 or 7 people, not even 6. DJ, 3 keyboards. Is there anything else? I think that was it. And a little amp for the bass guy. That's it. And these guys are trying to charge that. Come to find out, all these companies were actually they were re-renting from the one company. I couldn't believe what I was finding out. I was just like, wait, they're not all separate. They are all separate. But what they were doing was the lowest price guy had the equipment. Then they were adding like $1,000 per day or more on top of his price. And so he actually called me up and said, hey, man, why are you calling around? People are calling me for the same equipment. I was like, what are you talking about? I called like 4 companies. They sent me over their prices. And I said, your price is it's the lowest out of everybody. And he goes, that's right, because they're basically renting it from me. I couldn't believe all the shenanigans that's going on over there. That's one of the shenanigans, but besides the bond management BS. So I learned a whole bunch of stuff about what all these guys were doing. But, you know, as we're going through time, you find out, you learn the landscape. So that's what I was doing. So, you know, it's a live and learn, but it's not a live and learn when we're talking about tens of thousands of dollars, right? So that's the problem. And so that now I have to get a little pissed about the way they do business. Now I have to be like, what the hell's going on? I had a deal where I was going to have stuff inside of 3 poster boards inside excursion places. So when people come in, they'll see those big 2 foot by 4 foot boards, things like that. So I call around. This has nothing to do with money, though. I call around and I'm thinking, hey, I need a 2 foot by 4 foot little cardboard that's indoor, outdoor that you guys have made for these other companies. These people would say stuff to me, send me back stuff going, we need you to come down here. I'm like, I can just send you the picture. I can send you PDF form, JPEG form, PNG form. I can send you every form. And you can make it 2 feet by 4 feet. That's what it's made in by feet. It's already measured when I built it. And they're like, oh, no, we can't do that. I'm just like, what is going on with you people over here? Yeah, it's just crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Oh, my God. That's like here in Florida. You have home renters doing sub-renting of rooms inside the home. That's insane. Exactly. They were actually subleasing, trying to sublease the music equipment. I mean, it was crazy. And it turns out the sound guys, which is different than the musical equipment, was doing the same thing. I call this, can you guys imagine when you have these type of prices, you would go crazy. So you're doing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and they say the rental equipment for the keyboards and this, that, and the other is $3,500 a day. And then you call the sound guy, and the sound guy goes, oh, yeah, that's $2,500 a day. And you're like, $6,000 a day to have some speakers and three keyboards and a mixer and a bass, an amp. And I'm just like, are you guys, is this a joke? So eventually I got it down to the main guys, and I found another guy that was reasonable. But at the same time, though, all these shenanigans was taking time off the clock. And then what was even worse? Oh, it got worse. It got worse. Now I'm talking to individuals. When I say, yeah, I need some of the local talent, local artists, they go, oh, I have my own, like, what did they call it? What do you call those? Talent agency, so to speak. So now it run the same type of thing. These guys are going, yeah, I have my own talent agency. So I talk to individual artists. They're generally like pretty cheap. But as soon as I go to the talent agency dudes, I'm paying like another $500 on top because they got to get their cut. I'm just like, this is insanity. It's insane. So I was like, okay, this is how you guys do business. I said, don't ever. I said, if things work out where I'm going to go hang out on the island, I'll just take over. Because if this is how all you guys are doing business, I was like, I don't need you. I'll just get all the equipment. I'll do all this, and I'll just bypass you guys. And I won't let nobody rent except directly from the artist. You guys won't be doing no subleasing. I mean, this is crazy what they're doing. People are getting jacked, and quite frankly, this is why there's hardly DR. This is why there's hardly any bands of any nature that has 5-6 people in their band. They're not coming because of how much you guys charge. They're not coming. They're going to have to be superstars who have these big budgets from their record labels or something like that, because if they're going to play 2 or 3 days, it's going to cost way too much the way they have it structured. And those people aren't going to deal like how I was dealing, running the streets, running into people, talking to people. They're just going to go with what they see on the internet. They're not going to deal. They don't know about the people that aren't on the internet to get the lower price. So they're going to deal with subleasing, some people that's subleasing the stuff and pay some stupid number like 6 or 7 G's a day. It's ridiculous. Crazy. And then the venues is even crazier. They're trying to charge like $5,000 a day. I mean, no, not a day. $5,000, $2,500 for 3 or 4 hours. I mean, it's like ludicrous. And I'm sitting there like, you guys know you don't even have any business up in here, really. You guys don't even have business around here at 7 o'clock at night, 7:30 at night, 8 o'clock at night. People don't even come out till 9, 10, 11 at night. So all that time, you're getting free drinks, eats, getting free business. It's like their mindset is, I need money up front. They're not thinking about long term. They're not thinking about repeat. They're not. I'm just like, man, this is getting. It's been wild. It's been very, very wild. Real estate, though, we can deal with real estate. That's a tangible asset. You're putting money down, you're paying, and you know whatever the developer is doing, you can see it, you can track it. So that's one of the things, right? It makes things a lot easier. So that's why I have to be like, okay, let me come back from taking over in the whole business realm, because the way they do business is different than me. I need weapons. Let's just put it that way. I need weapons. I'm just gonna. I need weapons. I mean, I have to be mean, basically. If I'm gonna do business, you got to be mean. You very much have to be strict. You have to be like, all kind of things. It's crazy. If I had known, I possibly could have helped. I have a family member there that does all the big concert stage setups. You're talking all the sounds and decoration. Yeah, the stage is. Oh yeah, man. Oh my God. I forgot all about the stage. If I would have had this at the beach without a stage, because no beach club generally has a stage, right? The guys that would bring a stage to me and set up, they were talking like 5 to 10 G's a day. It was insane. It was insane. I was just like, what are you guys on out here? What are you on? This is crazy. So that's why things had to morph into something else. And all the while, the sponsors who said they're going to do stuff regardless, they back out. After double check, triple check, check, 3, 4, 5 times getting things down. And then they'd be like, oh, I can't do that. I'm like, what do you mean? We talked about this 4, 5 times. Double check, triple check before I even sign a contract to make sure you guys know what's up. All right, ring. Oh, no answer. Ring, hey, text, no answer. So once again, if you're going to do business out there from a business standpoint, well, this was music. But any business you're doing out there, you need to double check who's holding your money. That's all I'm going to say right now about this, because anytime somebody else is holding your money in the DR, you're going to be subject to them releasing it to you. All right. They play games. So all I'm saying is your money ain't coming back. So you better be able to tap your money. And I don't want to hear, why don't you sue them? That ain't going to help you. It's just like in America, it's not going to help you. You sue somebody, you have court dates. Your court date ain't tomorrow. Your court date is not next week. Your court date is not next month. And it ain't 2 months after that either. And in the DR, it may not be for another 6 to 8 months. So lawsuit, all you're going to be doing is giving your money to a lawyer, just like here in America, except your timeline is unknown in the DR because of the way their court systems are. So once again, just keep in mind, that's why you need lawyers to begin with, to make sure the contract that you have is on point. But my recommendation is make sure you don't leave any money sitting in the DR where somebody's got to give it to you. All right. You want to try to bypass that as much as possible. All right. They were saying, I am getting in the gringo's wallet. Yep. He's a big baller from the United States Empire. Exactly. That's exactly right. Exactly right. I had people hounding me. Hey, man, we got to do business down the line. Like I told you guys, I was going to deal with Punta Cana hits. I mean, here I am talking about business. We got to get everybody up to speed. Punta Cana hits while I'm there for 2 or 3 days. They're like, Eric, man, we're going to have a real estate show on our channel. We'll let you run the whole thing. I was like, oh, okay, I can do that. I was like, well, I can do that remotely. And we just wire it up 7 at night. And then we have somebody that does Spanish and English. So then that way they can contact them, and I'll have somebody that's from my SSN Lifestyle SRL in the studio or remote as well. And so therefore, if they speak Spanish, they can contact that person and it's all good. So we talk about this for 2 or 3 days. I come back to the US. Then I'm sitting there saying, all right, man, I got some time now. Let's hook up this thing. You know what happens? Oh, man, we're going to actually edit stuff. We're going to do this, that, and the other. And it's going to cost you I'm like, what? What did you? I said, what did you just say? Cost me what? You're the one that approached me and said you wanted me to do it for your show. I said, what does this cost? What? Oh, editing this, da, da, da. I said, dude, that's not how this works. I said, I don't need you to be talking about real estate. I was just basically throwing it in so you would have a show in your lineup that you can actually charge for advertising. I wasn't going to ask you for advertising because I figured if people listen to the show, they'll be calling up my realtor or myself, and that way I'll make money just from that, and you guys make money from your advertising. You want me to pay for your stuff? I said, oh, just see me on stopstrugglingnow.com then. I said, I don't need you for doing that. You guys don't have that many people watching your stuff. So that's how that didn't happen. So the whole time for 3, 4, 5 days, they're telling me, Eric, we want to do this. We're going to do it. And I'm like, what do you mean you're going to do it? He says, we're going to do everything. We'll do the editing. People can come into the show. They can call into the show. I'm like, oh, okay. So that means you make money on the advertising. I make money when people sign up. It's a win-win. When I get back to the States, oh no, you got to pay for the editing. You got to pay for a little of the airtime. I'm like, dude, we were in face-to-face for like 3, 4, 5, 6 days. You never said no crap like this. So I was like, F it. See me on SSN Lifestyle. See me on Stop Struggling Now. This is crazy stuff. They say one thing, but it's not what they're saying. They said, some of the artists, they're like, yeah, we're going to take them down to Colombia. We're going to do this, that, and the other. These guys are talking crazy. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Give me your card. We'll do whatever. But here's the parameters. You're going to have to pay for their airfare. You're going to have to pay for their hotel, and you're going to have to pay them a little bit of money. Not a little bit, but thousands. All right. So if you want them to come down, you're going to have to set all that up. And actually, you're going to have to go through me. So I'm not letting you go through them after what I've seen here so far. So now I'm sitting there like, oh, yeah, right on. This is going to work out. So the dudes are talking all this stuff, right? So you would not believe the craziest thing happened. I go out to check out a potential 100 acres. This guy's going to build across the highway from Larimar. He has 100 acres, allegedly. And so I'm going out there, but when I get out there, I find out on some of their acres, like 4 acres, they separated and put these like tiny villas. They're probably no bigger than 600. No, they're 600, 700 square feet. The ceilings are like 13, 14 feet high. There's a little kitchen. There's a bathroom. There's a bedroom. And there may even be 2 bedrooms. One bedroom maybe 9 by 10. The other bedroom's like 8 by 10 kind of thing. But the place was like 600 square feet, maybe 650, whatever. So as it turns out, I'm driving with the owner of the thing at his place, and he's saying, yeah, man. And I'm like, wait, you guys never said nothing about these tiny homes are here. So it's not really 100 acres. It's like 80. It's not even 100 acres to begin with, first of all. So it ends up being where it's 4 acres, and then it's like 20 acres or something. I don't even know. But the bottom line is it wasn't 100 acres, because when I come out there, I'm like, I said, you know how big 100 acres is? I said, first of all, 40 acres is a half mile by a half mile. 100 acres should be a mile. So when I'm driving in the place, I'm looking like, I don't even see a half mile by a half mile, let alone a mile by a mile worth of area. So I'm like, so then he pipes up and says, oh no, it's only like 85,000 square meters. I said, well, 85,000 square meters is like 20 acres or something thereabout. I'm like, this is crazy. Where did this 100 acres come from? Why did you guys say this? Otherwise, this is not even a thing. But here's the story. We go around to those mini things because I wanted to see them because they were made of brick. I was like, oh, this is beautiful. I love it, because people are buying these for like 60, 70, $80,000, but they're only small little, these mini villas, tiny homes almost. I drive around and they said, hey, do you want to see this other villa? I pull into the other villa. The guy that was telling me about, yeah, we're going to have the artist down in Colombia, this, that, and the other, he lives in one of the freaking villas, one of the tiny home villas. And I was like, I get out the car and I'm just like, this is a small effing world. What are you doing here? I'm not expecting the guy to live in this location because it's not anything. It's basically, there's nothing there. And I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, I live here. I was like, what do you mean you live here? I'm like, it's even suspect if there's electricity out here. I'm like, what is going on here? And so I remind him, I said, aren't you the guy that told me that you have bands that you want to go down to Colombia? I was like, what's going on, man? What are you doing here? So I'm like, automatically, I'm just like, oh, so you were just talking garbage when you're at my event, acting like you were somebody, because you figured that somehow you're going to extract money from me. So I just walk off. And I'm like, whatever. He calls me up and he starts going, hey, man, I didn't know you were looking for real estate. I go, what are you calling me about real estate for? What do you care? He goes, oh, I do real estate. I'm like, dude, where are you from? I do real estate. You saw me doing music, but he didn't know I did real estate. See, because we're talking music with him. So when I get over there, he's telling me, hey, man, I didn't know you were interested in real estate. He saw me with the owners of the property. So he starts sending me real estate stuff. I'm like, dude, since when are you a realtor? I thought you were a music guy. This is what I'm talking about. You got to watch yourself when you're dealing with people outside of the real estate game in the DR. If you're trying to do business, this is why you need attorneys. This is why you need lawyers to look over every damn thing. You're going to have to spend the money. You can't just do gentlemen's agreements. You can't do agreements that you sign and agree to stuff. You need attorneys to watch every damn thing. And that's why I have Johan Confidante and I have Glenme. And I'm going to have to add another attorney for being, if I'm going to do any musical stuff, now I have to change up and have somebody that specializes in that. Because again, the way they operate over there is crazy. And Victor Morrell, this was the whole thing right here. Once they realized what I was doing, all of a sudden everybody wanted to be my friend. Of course, because they're just what you just said right here. The gringo's here. He got some money. He's got these artists over here. We know who they are. They're on the Billboard charts. We can Google them. We're like, oh, shit, they have music videos. They got hit songs. How did he get them over here? And then he sees how they're acting with me, and they're just like, hey, Eric, what about the hotel? They're hearing the byproduct of conversations. Hey, man, what about the transportation? Or they hear, thanks for the transportation. Thanks for putting us up at the hotel, man. It's an awesome place. So they would all hear all this stuff as we're walking by, and they're thinking, oh, damn, he has more money to spend. We're going to try and extract it. So just keep in mind, any other business outside of real estate, just make sure you handle business the right way. And just keep in mind, whatever you hear as a numbers or business, just double and triple check it. All right. Doesn't matter their reputation either. I'm just going to say it doesn't matter the reputation. All right. Now, that's enough of that. Let's get into buying assets, ladies and gentlemen, because once again, are you guys paying attention to the stock market? I haven't been paying attention to the stock market for the last day or two. I got to admit, but I heard Tesla started with a little pop, with a bang. I see the Federal Reserve is not ready to cut rates until greater confidence. Inflation is moving to 2% goal. I told you, ladies and gentlemen, what was going to happen. I told you it's in stone. They were just going to raise it to 5%, 5.5. Here we are in July. I told you they're going to use their year over year. See, guys, the inflation rate didn't go up 2% from the freaking 30% that it went up over the last 5 years, or 100%. We stopped. I told you they were going to use it. And look at this. Let me show you guys on the screen. This is so disgusting. This is just disgusting. Really disgusting. But we're about to take advantage, ladies and gentlemen. Don't fear. I'm not mad, really. I'm like, this is like the storm before the big blow up. And this is why you're going to need some real estate if you want to, increase your wealth. You're going to need some real estate. You're going to need some stocks. There's just no way around it. This is so beautiful what I'm seeing here. I'm not really mad. I'm just enjoying all of this. So I want you to know right now, we're talking about buy assets. We're talking about getting that 119k Punta Cana. That's real estate. You also have to back yourself up. Look at this right here. Look at this. Fed says it's not ready to cut rates until greater confidence. Inflation is moving to 2% goal. So how do we get to 2% goal? Private payrolls grew by just 150,000 in June, less than expected. Of course. So here's what's going to see. This just cracks me up. First of all, since they're not decreasing the interest rate, they've been holding them now for almost, 9 months at 5% to 5.5%. So year over year, they can say, because that's pretty max. They should have already increased it, but they didn't want to, for whatever reason, we know what it is. They didn't want to have the rich guys paying a higher interest rate, more than 5 or 5.5%. They protect the wealthy. So if they would have raised it up like 8 months ago, like they should have, we would have already tackled the 2%, but instead they prolonged it because now the inflation is just going to keep reducing as more and more people can't afford anything. So it's just going to go down because they can't gouge people like they did the past 3 years. So now they have to keep it where it is because they raise the price even more. People aren't going to buy. All right. Because people are living paycheck to paycheck. So the longer they just keep it laying, then they can start going, well, see, since last July, since last August, since last November, now it's 2% increase. So now we'll reduce the interest rates. That's all they're doing. They're playing this BS game. They ain't that smart. Come on now. They're just playing around. They're just saving the wealthy. Because by rights, this should be at 6 to 6.5%. Should be the federal rate if they were really trying to tackle inflation. But that would have screwed their boys because their boys would have had to pay 5 or 6% on hundreds of millions of dollars in interest for their interest-only loans, for their adjustable interest-only loans. That would wipe out a lot of profits because a lot of people have hundreds, tens to 50 to $100 million in loans that they don't tell you about. You could just go see the Fed sheets and things like that, and that's where they're holding us hostage, but they're not, because you guys know, buy the stocks that matter. Tech stocks, Nvidia probably went down because I heard something about Nvidia. S&P 500, 5,500, the target is 6,000. All of these are going to rise as soon as they start reducing the interest rate. Now, they can keep doing this forever. That's why you have to make more money, because from this point on, you're not going to have any luxuries like what you're going to have now and what you've had in the past. Because after they reduce the interest rate this time, you have to understand housing prices, stock prices, real estate prices are going to be at an all-time high. And after it hits that all-time high, only a certain amount of people will be able to buy. Because if all homes are like on average, let's just say they're 800,000, that you will have to make like $250,000, $300,000 as a household or as an individual to buy a home. That's where this is going. So they'll be able to wipe out the middle class, and the only people that can buy homes, corporations, real estate investment trusts, while you have to sit there and figure it out. All right. So that's where this is going. So you're going to have to participate. You can't sit on the sidelines anymore, especially with these two things, stocks and real estate. Then buy a business if you can. It's easier to buy a business, quite frankly, or buy into a business than it is to start from scratch, unless you have some super special technology or super special business that, the masses can use. So just keep that in mind. All right. That's very, very interesting. Victor Marrero, he brings it up. In case you can't get in the chat room, there's a reason why. Because members of the Stop Struggling Now YouTube channel page, they're the only ones that can be in the chat room tonight. And a few others. All right. What's happening here? We're having, oh, that's not good. Oh, there it is. Stock market is on fire. Exactly. Yes, Tesla is on a tear. Plus, Yield Max ETF TSLY is now paying $1 per share this Monday. It was announced today. Ching, ching. Exactly, ladies and gentlemen. This is YieldMaxETFs.com. I talk about this every live stream. Why? Because in 3 years, you're going to have to make $200,000 or more. Otherwise, you're going to be living paycheck to paycheck for sure. Everybody who's making less than that, good luck. Because you're going to need some extra revenues coming in. So you should be using every little bit of extra money you have buying assets. And if it's just a $20 or $30 share every week, so be it. I mean, if that's what it takes, you got to do it. Because if you have $50, $100, $200, $400 a month coming in, that's better than nothing. You're going to need it down in the long run. In the next 3 years, when this boom comes, it's going to be off the charts. They're going to wreck you. All right. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. So if you're here listening to me, this is why you need to be offshore, whether you pick, well, in Punta Cana or Dominican Republic, everything is deeded like in America. So that's one of the countries where you actually have the deed in your name. So that is major. Check out this stock, ACHR, 28.75% return in 1 month. They are designing and developing electric vertical takeoff aircrafts. They were talking about the air taxi. We've heard of this one before, Victor Marrero. We've heard of this. I didn't think this was coming to fruition anytime soon. Archer. Yeah, remember we talked about them before. The stock price is hella cheap. I will admit that. But the last 6 months, minus 25%. But when you do like the last month, 27.58%. But yeah, remember they're in Cali, and we talked about Archer before. The 52-week high is $7.49, and the 52-week low is $3. So you really, really have to study this and see if this fits in with your program. But here's why it went up. Stellantis invests additional $55 million in air taxi maker Archer, which, again, you got to do your own research. How viable is Archer in the near future? This sounds like something that's like 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years down the line, because there is no air taxi. That's the thing, right? That's a whole nother lane. Where are they going to be? What lanes are they going to be flying in? How high, how low? How are you going to come into? I mean, this is an uncharted territory. So you got to go study this, because this is like Tesla 20 years ago. That's what this is like. So just keep that in mind. All right. Some people may say, what is that? But here it is. Stellantis had to give them money, so they needed an influx of money. Get ready for the final phase of the AI boom. All right, this is investors' place. So, okay, little, geez, I can't remember the name of these things. The drones. That's what it's kind of like. These 7 stocks could triple. That's interesting. This is investorplace.com, but what comes next? Notable progress, reminding investors why they shouldn't disregard it. Received certification from the FAA to operate a commercial airline July. Cash is exactly what Archer needs to continue its slow ascent back to the green. Still seem like a contrarian play, but there's no denying that its a recent performance has been promising. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's $4, no profits. It's one of those things that's going to be very interesting. You're going to have to pay attention and study if you plan on buying Archer. Brian P., welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to his name. And in this YouTube street, he's known as Mr. Dividend for all of you out there. And he brings his tagline. Hello, Eric. Hello to you, man. I hope all is well with you. Yes. Hello, SSN family. I got the notification and saw the trailer. Did you see those emails? No, I did not see the emails this evening. Where's my emails at? That's interesting. I don't know where they are. Let me go. Oh, I was in my emails. No, I wasn't. Hold on. I was in a different email. I'll have to check it out. But I appreciate you sending me the emails. I appreciate that. He says, smash that like button. Tell your friends too, ladies and gentlemen, because you never know what they are needing. We are making money in here. Exactly. Victor Morel, I'm glad you brought this up. You can't go wrong with SPY, QQQ, VOO, VOOG as in George, VTI, V as in Victor, T as in Tom, I, for everybody on podcast. Holding just these long enough will make you wealthy. Exactly. 25 years, 20 years. Well, actually, after this next bull run, it could make you wealthy in a shorter time frame. It could be like 5 years, the way things are about to go crazy. All right. So keep that in mind. But very, very good, ladies and gentlemen. I just added VOOG to it as well. VTI, QQQ, SPY, JEPI, JEPQ. Might as well add all of those. Everybody, that's why you keep your pen pads and papers handy when you're here in this SSN Nation. Unlike everywhere else, we don't have courses to sell you. This is the no guru zone. No course to sell, nothing to go buy, no ebooks, none of that, except for the Punta Cana Investors Forum. When we're over there actually handling biz, then you got to pay. We got to move around, right? $199 per person. There's steps to this. The first 5 people is $199. There's only 4 $199 slots left. So go to ssnlifestyle.com to find out more information and to sign up for December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, where you come. You want to start a business in Dominican Republic to get an SRL, or figure out how you can have your LLC as a foreign corporation in the DR. That's an option. But that's why we go see the attorneys on Monday, December 2nd. You can figure out how to set that all up. No additional cost to the attorneys. They're with us. They're part of the SSN Nation. All right. So you guys see it on the screen. VOO, VTI, QQQ, SPY, VOOG. All those are good, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Or you can try out the VCR, but there's other things that can beat VCR. So NVIDIA. How about NVIDIA, ladies and gentlemen? Attacked. Man, there's people shorting NVIDIA. Man, it's pretty crazy to see the battles going back and forth. Man, but that also means AMD, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, they're all in play. NVIDIA got sued, but it apparently didn't matter. NVIDIA is the 5th most profitable company in the S&P 500. Wang cashes in on NVIDIA's rally with 169 million share sale. Of course he does. NVIDIA's most owned chip stock in active funds. But another is moving up fast. Oh my, look at this. See? Wonder what that is. Is it AMD? Is it TSMC? Broadcom, the one that's splitting. AVGO, there we go, ladies, is the one. AVGO, A is in Apple, V is in Victor, G is in George. Oh, they are doing a stock split. Look at this. This is crazy. They're up to 1,700 right now. AMAT, I love AMAT's a sleeper. Oh, there's another one. AAT, that's another one. Broadcom. All these guys, Intel's a sleeper, Apple's a sleeper, plenty of opportunities out there, or just get QQQ, that'll work, SPY, that'll work. Any of those. Any of those. That will help out, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So that will be very interesting because Mr. Dividend says MSTY. You got to love that as well. MSTY, right? Got to love it. I see right now, whenever we start talking about these guys, always something with this. When we start talking about yield max ETFs and things like that, always something. All right. Well, this is interesting. I will wait. I will take off CNBC. If we get disconnected, I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. All right. This happens. This is nothing new. This is what they do to us around here. There we go. Brian P says, hey, Eric, MSTY is paying $2.30 per share on the 8th. A $30 stock. No, it's not even $30 right now. That's what's crazy. It's even less than that right now. MSTY. That's crazy. $27.31 is paying $2 this month. It paid $2 last month as well. Almost 10% in 1 month. 8% in 1 month. How special is that? And now it's paid $5, which is like, damn, that's almost like 35% or something in 1 month or in 2 months on your money. MSTY. Where do you get MSTY? On the stock exchange? It's a yield max ETFs. There's also a ULTY. There's also a IWMY. There's also real estate investment trusts that are kicking pretty good. There's all kind of opportunities individually, or you can go with the total markets that Victor Morero was talking about as well. VOO, VOG, VTI, SPY, QQQ, things like that. So hopefully that helps people out. Now, I'm not going to be on the live stream too much longer tonight because we started this off with a 1-bedroom unit inside Vista Cana where there's only 3 available for $119,000. That's right. And they have a special payment plan. 4 months, $1,000, right? $1,000 per month with an 18-month payment plan, okay? And so therefore, that makes things very, very interesting. Hold on, I need a drink of water, by the way. I had to erase some things because of our little ridiculous situation. Okay, ANNE. Let me see here. Where is this it? Nope, that's not it. ZS, maybe this is it. Is this the payment plan? Let me check it out. Let me see what this is. Nope. That is the brochure. But if you have any questions, only people in the chat who's a member of the channel, they're the only ones that can be in the chat room. If you are in real estate, let me give you, I have Johan Confidante's number. You can call him. Let him know you're from the SSN Nation. If you need an attorney for real estate in the DR, let him know. Its number for everybody on podcast is +1 for Dominican Republic, 809-757-1573. All right, 809-757-1573. That's for an attorney for real estate and immigration. But if you want to do SRL, then you go see our girl Gwenny from Glenny Hatchie-Cuevas. All right, go see her. She does everything, real estate, but she also does business. She can get your SRL started up. It takes a month to get approved. She'll tell you what you have to do with the name. You need 2 people, not just one. You need 2 people in your company. And she does real estate. She does immigration. She does everything. All right. Nice as hell. Let her know you're from SSN Nation. Those are the key words. SSN Nation is the passcode. All right. That's the key. Keep that in mind. You guys get love. All right. So that's what you do there. If there's anything else, the guys that are here, let me know. On Friday, don't miss InstaVid AI. You can actually go to instavidai.com. Oscar, he owns it. He's going to be here on Friday at 7:55 p.m. or actually 8 p.m. The live stream starts at 7:55 p.m. Make sure you register early, sign up so you get the notification. If you want an opportunity to buy a business, buy into a business, and find out about one of the up-and-coming social media platforms where you can actually use it many different ways, whatever your imagination. He's going to show the latest updates. And again, friends and family can get in right now for the Mr. Wonderful deal, the SSN Nation deal. And then at 9:10 p.m. on Friday, I'll be talking about other real estate projects as well, plus some other assets, some other wealth builders, because this is the SSN Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And then Friday night, we're just going to continue on because we need you to actually figure out ways to make money passively and semi-passively. All right. Because you're going to need it in 3 years. All right. You have basically a 2-year window to get everything in order, because after that, just picture this. I'm going to ask you right now. Are you prepared if everything costs 75% more? Are you going to be prepared? Are you going to make enough if things cost 75% more? That's all I'm going to ask you. So all the 70% of the people that are living paycheck to paycheck now, that means probably 70% of the people, that's a resounding hell no. So I'm just saying, if it costs you, let's say your expenses are $6,000 a month now, are you able to afford $10,000 per month? Because that's what you're going to need in about 3 years. All right. I'm just saying, you're going to need at least that just to live paycheck to paycheck. So you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck? Well, then you're going to have to go more like the 125% of whatever you're making right now. Double what you're making plus another quarter, and you'll be in the safe zone. It's that simple. All right. Some people thought I was crazy 5 years ago when I said, hey, guys, in 5 years, they're going to wipe out the middle class. Well, 5 years later, 70% live paycheck to paycheck. That's a wipeout. As soon as you have the next 10%, that'll be 80% to 85% of the population lives paycheck to paycheck. That means the upper middle class is wiped out. Because all that's left is the top 15%. Top 10% of the wealthiest, who own top 10% of the wealthiest, in case you're new here, own 90% of the stock market. So now that's when the stock market will be in jeopardy, because now you're not going to have anybody down below that is going to be able to afford to put in their disposable income to buy the stocks to keep the prices up. So they have to artificially do something else, right? Right? This is not rocket science. Math, you cannot escape from. That's the one thing I always liked in school. You can't fool me with math. You're not going to escape. If you have $35 trillion worth of deficit and you keep ballooning the money supply, that means you're putting more money into the system, which now means things are going to cost more. And you devalue your currency. And devaluing your currency means you need more currency to pay for the same thing. Except more of the currency is going to be in the hands of the wealthy. See how this works? It's not really hard to figure out, right? So it's trickle up, because we're buying the wealthy's goods and services and products, going to their store, their chain stores, the Walton's family store, the Sam's Clubs. All this stuff goes into the hands of the family. Like, this is crazy when you think about it. All right. So just keep all that in mind. All right. I'm going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to stay on too long. Hold on a second. There is something else. Hold on. Let's do this. Hold on. It's like I have some stuff in the room. I must have left them. Yeah, I did leave the windows open. Oh, damn. Okay. Brian P., you'll have to see us on Friday, man, about these emails. I'll check them out. I can't check them out right now, but I gotta go somewhere. I gotta go somewhere and go check it out. But yeah, so anyhow, if anybody has any questions, again, come join us in the chat room. If you have any questions about the real estate, you want to get one of these units, then I suggest you sign up now. There's only 3 available at this price. Otherwise, you have to pay $20,000 more if you want that same unit. It's $140 for all the rest of the units, and it's only 3 specific units, unit 21, 22, and 24. And it's now white line. So it's basically they're building you a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, and you will not have your kitchen appliances. All right. You'll have this spots for it, but you're going to have to buy your fridge, your range. If you want an oven, you're going to need to buy that. And if you want an extractor, which you should, you should have one of those. So you're going to have to buy those. How much will they cost 2 years from now? I don't know. But I do know probably right now that's $7,000 or $8,000. Maybe even 10. All right. So, that's why you're getting a great cheap price and a great payment plan as well. All right. So just keep that in mind. All of it is sitting at our WhatsApp group. So you can check that out, plus many more. If you say, Eric, I don't like that, I'll pay more and get a cooler project, or I want a villa, down below in the description box, I have Sunlax down there. I have other properties that you can go check out and see the brochure. Oasis Lake, which is a studio, which is at Caribbean Lake Park. The Caribbean Lake Park is already built. So you have this awesome water park, nightclub, restaurant, pools, cabanas, bars, and zip lines and rock climbing and all that out there. That's included when you live at Oasis Lake for the first 3 years. So that's another thing. All right. And congratulations to the SSN Nation members who purchased on the 3rd floor at Oasis Lake, because the fund bought all the other 17 units. So therefore, nobody else can buy the top floor, which sleeps 4. It's like a loft unit, and the 2nd floor and the 1st floor only sleep 2. So you have an advantage. 4 people sleeping in the loft can use all of the activities at no additional cost to them for everything I just mentioned. There's buggy rides out back now, but the buggy rides, you get a discount rate. Everybody else who does not have a condo at Caribbean Lake Park, congratulations. You got to spend $100 or more per person to use the same thing that the people that are renting at the Oasis Lake pays nothing for. So 4 people is going to have to spend $400 to go to the park. How much is that worth per night if you have 4 people staying in your condo? To me, it seems like $300 or $400, right? And you get to stay here. And you get to use everything at your leisure. 7 at night, you want to go do something? Okay. 6 at night, want to go to the nightclub at 2 in the morning? Okay. It's open from 11 till 6 in the morning. Or 7 in the morning. I don't know when it shuts down. So those are the type of things that you have to think about when you're investing. What's the advantages? Like the advantages of staying in Vista Cana versus staying or buying just a regular old condo for $120,000. That all they have is a pool and a fitness room and no other amenities, which is like Coral Village, which if you look on Airbnb in Los Corrales, you can stay from $50 a night to about $79 per night. It's not that expensive. Luckily, everybody who bought at Coral Village at the beginning, a 1-bedroom was only like $80,000, $90,000. So the price was for rental is still right. They're trying to sell those same units now for like $140, $160. You can't generally rent for $160 or $150 or $140 or $120 or even $100 a night. So for our thing, you want to do 1%. So if I can't rent for 1%, then that's not a good deal to me. So if I can buy something for $120,000, 130,000. It's across the street from a man-made beach, like in the Seven Palms situation that we're talked about earlier tonight. That makes perfectly good sense. I think you can rent for 110 a night, 120 a night. You're across the street from the beach. So just keep that in mind. All right. Hey, Eric, check out the email about the banks. Oh, don't tell me about the bank's implosion. See, he's going to make me do some things that I can't do right now. I'm going to have to, let me see. I got to do something. Yeah. Here, I can't. What are banks doing? Banks are probably going out of business. It's no surprise. And it's no surprise banks are doing all kind of things. Wall Street Journal, banks are ditching their branches. Maybe you should too. That's funny. The bank last year, they're saying, this is on June 21st, 2024. This isn't what he sent me. I just arbitrarily just look and see what banks are doing. And it's no surprise there. This is about to be a bad banking situation. That is for sure. First collapse of 2024. No, we know about those already. Republic, failed bank list. Hundreds of U.S. banks may be at risk. Of the 4,000 banks, 282 banks face threats from commercial real estate and higher interest rates. This is why they're not raising the interest rates. I keep telling you guys this. What you guys got to pay attention out here. They're not caring really about you. That's why you have to take matters into your own hands. You're putting your money in a 401k. They're giving you maybe a 9 or 8% return. Meanwhile, there's 12, 14, 15, 16, 20% returns out there, and they're probably skimming, and you don't realize it, and you're happy. Oh, look, I got 9.5% return this year when you could have been getting a 25 or 30%. So all I'm saying is, no, I can't look that up right now. I'm having a problem that I cannot handle while I'm online. So all I can say is thank you so much. E. White is here. Another superstar investor in the Dominican Republic. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to your name, which I humbly appreciate. He says, good evening, SSN family. It's good to be in the room with all these savvy investors. Hey, White, thank you so much for that. And thank you for being here yourself, another superstar savvy investor. And E. White is now here. So I guess I will bring this up. We're talking about real estate. What's been happening also is I'm going to talk about some real estate on Friday, or actually, I'm not even doing that. I'm going to be making a video about it. Some of the pitfalls and things like that that more and more people are finding out about. But again, that's why we have to pay attention to who the developers are, who's building, who's doing some things. So we will talk about that on another video, another live stream. And I should have another live stream impromptu. I've been wanting to make a live stream during the day just to get a different audience, maybe. Some people be like, hey, what's this? But because we always run at night. So some people are, after you get off work, they don't even, you're relaxing or going to sleep, So, yeah, I wanted to run a few starting in the afternoon and nighttime kind of thing. I should have ran an afternoon one today and then a nighttime one, but stay tuned. You guys will get notifications. Make sure if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel and click the all notification bell. All right. And smash that button, smash the follow, smash the heart, smash whatever buttons you got to smash. And everybody on podcast, same thing. Tell your friends, Stop Struggling Now podcast, SSN Nation podcast. Make sure you get it because nobody else has these deals that you guys have opportunities for. 120,000, 3 units available, special payment plan. What more can you want? Instead of 20, 40, 40, you got a 15, 30, 55. Maybe you can get a 10% down, 25% during construction, 65% on delivery. I like that one even better. Why not? Your payment's like $1,300 a month. I like that a lot better. Actually, a little less than that probably, but I like it a lot better is all I'm saying. E. White. So no, E. White knows about what I'm going to be talking about in the video. I'm not going to talk about tonight because I told everybody about this before. If any of the builders, developers are paying attention tonight, all I can tell you is you guys need to get your acts together. Because if what we've traditionally had because of COVID and because of shenanigans, we've had builders take people's money 2020, 2021, and there's still no delivery. And then they say it's because of COVID, it's because of hurricane, but it's like 4 years later. And I'm sitting there like, well, some people start getting upset 4 years later. Why isn't there delivery? We understand hurricane, we understand pandemic, but those were like 2 years ago. So that's what the situation is. So now, if those people are unhappy, they're going to go tell their friends, family, neighbors, and those friends and family and neighbors are going to tell other friends, family, and neighbors. When they come and get excited about, hey, I saw this guy Eric on Stop Struggling Now YouTube channel or Facebook or Instagram or whatever other locations, podcasts I heard him on, iHeart, Shopify, all this. But wait, I invested over there. Hey, don't do it. We have a problem. See, this comes back to haunt you when you decide to be acting like you don't know what to do with business. If you're getting thousands, probably potentially tens of thousands of people have invested in the DR over the last 5 years. And if you mess over 20% of those people, that's 20,000 mouthpieces. Those 20,000 mouthpieces generally have family members. So you might as well just say that's 40,000. And then those 40,000 have friends. And they just tell one of their friends. There goes another 40,000. That's 80,000 people talking, saying, hey, a friend of mine told me this is what happened. A friend of mine told me that's what's happened. So then 5 years later, all of a sudden people don't want to buy over there because now you have this amount of people that have already influenced the marketplace. That's how it works in social media land, ladies and gentlemen. So all I can tell you is that's why we have to pay attention to who we're dealing with nowadays. I can't just do like I used to do. Hey, Larimar City, take them by face value. Cruise on Land, take them by face value. All these projects, taking them by face value. Now we have to temper our expectations. We have to go, oh, I have a 19-month, 20, 24-month payment plan, but this might be delivered in month 30. So I might have finished my payment plan early, but delivery won't be for another 9 months, a year. We have to temper our expectations right now. All right. And that's unfortunate. So there you go. Eric, you still have your place with Larimar, right? Hell no. Hell no. First of all, I sent my message in 10 days ago. You were on vacation. 10 days ago, while you were in the DR, I did make a special announcement on the live stream, and I said I asked for a refund officially to 6 or 7 or 8 emails they gave me. 1 went to legal, 2 went to sales, 1 went to Gennaro, 1 went to Glenny, 1 went to Javier, who's in the communications department. He's in the office with Juan Andreas. And then they sent me 2 other people's email address to make sure their whole office gets it from all different angles. I just simply said, I want a refund, option 1. Of everything I put in, I'm not sending any more money. Option 2, I said, extend the contract from 2025, September, add on 18 months. So that would make it December 2026 or January, February 2027. With the caveat, if you finish before that time frame, then everything is due. So if there's 50% still due, then it's due within the 60 to 90 days, right? No problem. But at least we didn't have to pay and finish September 2025 and have to wait another damn near year and a half, 2 years potentially before you do anything. And so after I said that, then I said also, but here's the caveat. It ain't just for me. That's the second option. I want it for everybody who wants to extend their contract. So far, 7 to 10 days has gone by. I have not heard a peep. I just checked again today with the contact at the office who gave me everybody's thing. And I said, hey, how come nobody's contacted me? Out of like 6 to 8 people. I can't just remember because there were 6, 7, or 8 emails. It was on a list. I just kept them all together so everybody got them. And I'm like, and no answer. So then I sent over, just for giggles and grins, I said, hey, do you know about Shalom Village? You know about Shalom Village? Punta Cana? Just for giggles and grins. Okay. I won't even go no further, but it's SHALEM, Shalom Palm Village. Google it. All right. So no, yes, I still haven't officially, Victor Marrero. I have not heard about my refund or any money's coming back because I'm not sending them another dime. No, I'm not giving them 40 or 50% of my money and then sit around and wait for 2, 3, 4 years. That ain't gonna happen. Why am I going to chase good money after bad? I owe them like just so you guys know, when you set up your payment plan, you can actually negotiate. So what I did was I set up my payment plan like it's staggered. So in other words, like 3 months, every 3 months, I send a payment in. So like my first ones were like only 2,000, something like that. 2000. Then I think I bumped it up to 3,000 or 3,500, something like that. So that covered a 9-month period. So now we're talking about almost a year before my next payment would come up, right? For my 1 year would be. So after that 1 year, all I have is a year and a half left. So what happened is after November, we went there and they said, we'll have the permits. It'll be next month or whatever. The paperwork we need will be next month. I went back in December. I said, hey, so you guys started doing stuff? They said, no. Then January, but they didn't know I was coming back in January. I came back in January. Hey, what's going on, man? You guys started building? Then it was February. Then it was like, wait, you're moving dirt. I see that. So is everything on? But wait, you're not building a foundation. You're not digging down. You're not doing nothing in these videos we see. Then it was March. And then it was like, oh, we'll see you in May because we got the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum in May and the music festival. So we come out in May and they're talking, hey, if you go up to the cliff area, don't show any videos. I'm like, what? Why not? I'm like, oh, okay, that's not a good thing to say. So I agreed not to show. And then I was like, well, what's there to show? I'm not going up there anyhow, wasting my time when you guys haven't done anything. You're the one selling this stuff. If you were doing something, you would be showing the progress. I'm not going up there to show people videos that basically you've been moving dirt around, pulling up some trees here and there. I want to see when you're putting footings in, pylons being drilled down in the ground so you can start building some towers. So that's when I said, okay, enough. I'm not sending no more money. It ain't happening. Just give me a refund. I said it then, but now I officially did it like 7 to 10 days ago. So no, I'm still officially signed up, but am I really? I'm not sending them no more money. That ain't going to happen. So I'm, 10, 12, 15, 16, $18,000. Yeah. 20. It's not 20. It's like 18, I think they have right now. So whatever happens, happens. I'm not sending no more money. I'm not losing sleep because I would be losing sleep if I keep giving them money. And because I had it staggered, um I think it would have been either next month or the month after that I'd be sending them like $5,500 every 3 months. And so when you start, 10, 11, 11, it starts, every what, 6 months, you're sending 11 G's. I mean, and you're going to start losing sleep after you sent these guys 50, 60 G's. And then they're sitting there talking about, well, we haven't started yet. And you're like, wait, in about 6 months, I would have given you like 40, 50, 60 G's. Maybe more. I don't remember the number. So, and then after I've done that, you haven't even done anything. So now I'm sitting here with, why am I doing that? I'd rather not give them 60 G's, give them 18 G's or 16 G's. And then that way, if we have a problem, we got a problem. But I ain't giving you 60 and have a problem. Big difference. And then tell me it's going to be done 2 years or 3 years later, which we already know, right? So just keep in mind, you have to be patient, and you have to understand and make sure. I'm losing sleep over Larimar. It's been to damn silence from Larimar. Exactly, E. White. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why I just pulled the plug. I'm like, hold on now, man. Forget that. I could have used those funds from Larimar and focused on Oasis Lake. I know, E. White. I know. And that's the thing right there that was pissing me off about the whole thing, is that here's a perfect setup where you could have a loft unit on the 3rd floor for $210,000, fully furnished, inside the Caribbean Lake Water Park. For the first 3 years, you get to use everything once a day at no additional charge, you or your guest. And if you have the top floor, you have up to 4 people, 4 guests that stay in there, 4 bracelets. And like I said, if people don't know about Caribbean Lake Park, you got a water ski, you got rock climbing, you have zip lining, you have pools with cabanas, pool with pool bars. You got a jumpy that you can jump off and jump down on, and that launches the other person in the water on another place. You got the tube pullers. So another lake of water, a body of water they have, they can pull you on tubes. So now you got, like I said, the water skiing, cable puller around with jumps. Then at night at 11 p.m. or 10:30, you can go to Maroka nightclub, no additional cost. I mean, come on. This is crazy. And they have the buggy rides out back. But those you have to pay for and you get a discount. But nonetheless, no excursions necessary. Zip line, buggy rides, rock climbing, pools, water skiing, and you still have restaurant on site. And you have a pool party on Sunday afternoons. Every Sunday afternoon, they have the foam party. DJs, that's included too when you own at Oasis Lake the first 3 years. No additional costs. 4th year, you pay 50% of whatever the annual cost is, and we don't know what the cost will be. So all those things, is how it's going to go down. All right. Good evening, SSN family. Be good to be in room with all these investors. Eric, you still, are you pulling your money out to invest somewhere else? Yeah, exactly. So basically, if I got my money back, let's say from Larimar, all I'm going to do is go get 7 Palms Beach View. It'd be back in Vista Cana. Come on. And across the street is $146,000. So I probably, instead of a 2-bedroom, I'd probably get the 1-bedroom. Because I'm seeing a couple of things. There's a lot of, movement for just 2 people. There's movement for 3 or 4 people. So there's different ways to think about it. Before, I would never really like 1-bedrooms. But across the street from the man-made beach, I'll take a 1-bedroom for $140. Yeah, I know, no white line, so it's going to cost me $150 for that, and then furniture $160. But that's an option. Or I'll go out to Mishi's, Macau, which has a higher upside value, and I'll have ocean view from my unit directly from there. But it's in Michi's. So there's an upside on the value. But either way, there's still, if I had the money back, there's only 5 or 6 properties that are almost the same value. Because it was $133,000 for Larimar. But it was a 2-bedroom. But it's an undersized 2-bedroom for ours. It was 700 and some odd square feet, right? But the patio or balcony, not patio, balcony area was 240 square feet, large, right? So it's an offset, so to speak. But hey, ocean view, cliff view, one of the best units. But will it be built? Who knows? All right. So E. White's losing sleep. And he could have bought at Oasis Lake, which would have been the better thing. Oasis Caribbean Lake Park is already built. So all the amenities are already there, unlike all the other projects that have to build the amenities, which cost an arm and a leg. So that's different. They were just going to build the building. Building a building is cheap, way cheaper than trying to build water. So that's what made it special. But hey, they still have the bottom floor with jacuzzi at $190 is still a good price, but it only sleeps 2 people. I mean, that's the next best thing at Oasis Lake, but it is what it is. The fund bought all 17 units up top. They have it blocked off. I think the fund, though, again, whenever somebody says fund, I sit there and I'm like, okay, I've seen this play out before. What has happened before, where funds say they're coming in to buy something, they make an agreement, and then 5 months later, all of a sudden the fund goes, well, we can't buy it, so we're going to back out. But then 4 or 5 months have went by, which has reduced the payment plan. And now when you start going, well, the payment plan is 18 months, and we want you to pay us like $60,000. Now all of a sudden your payments are $2,500 to $3,000 per month. That's no fun, or more. So those 5 or 6 months that they're wasting messing around with the fund, if the fund backs out, which is what happened at Larimar. Larimar had a fund that took the whole tower. I can't remember if it was tower 3 or 4, but they took one of their towers. And so they didn't sell their towers when they had 30 some payments. So it got down to 20 some payments. They released them, but the prices at Larimar were still cheap. A 2-bedroom, $140,000. A 1-bedroom you can get for $96,000. So it was still cheap. So they were able to recoup that one, but they weren't able to recoup Horizon 1. Because Horizon 1 was $270,000, $240,000. So you have 18 payments left and owe 30% on 240 some thousand. You're paying $3,500, $4,000 per month. So people were like, hold on, that ain't going to work for us. Let's face it. Your market is United States, Canada, and Euro, pretty much, that can afford those type of payments. And when those people have already bought once, like E. White has bought more than one property, they can't afford to sit there and say, well, I guess I'll just spend another $5,000 a month for the next 1.5 to 2 years. They're like, forget that. No reason. I already have a unit or 2 or 3 or more. All right. So that's what we're talking about. So E. White's doing the same thing. A fund based where? Going to buy at Larimar? No, E. White, originally, the reason why Tower 3, or no, sorry. Actually, it wasn't Tower 3 or 4. It was Tower 2. So when you were first buying, they mixed up me and E. White, okay? Because my first name's Eric, his first name's Eric. So he was first buying. So that's why Tower 1 was available. Tower 2 was not available because this fund, Black Lion Fund, they were supposed to be buying Tower 2, the whole thing. So only 1 and 2 was available. What happened is So I was calling up saying, hey, you told me I had tower 1, some unit. Then all of a sudden they go, oh, we have tower 2 and we got a 9th floor available for you. I was like, wait, I thought the fund had that. He go, oh, the fund released a few units, but you can have the 9th floor. So then I was like, I don't really like the 9th floor. What about the 12th floor, the 13th floor? I was like, he's like, they're not releasing that one yet. They still say they're getting everything. They're just going to release the 9th floor. And I was like, okay, forget about it. So then all of a sudden they hit me up and started going, well, we have floor like 13 something. And I was like, where? And they're like, oh, on the 2nd tower. I was like, I thought the fund was getting that. They go, oh, no, they released like 9, 10, 11, 12. What about the penthouse? No, not the penthouse. So then all of a sudden they said 14 something. And then I was like, what the hell's going on? But at a different tower. And so that's when they thought E. White was me. And E. White says, I want that. Then I call back and they'd say, no, Eric, you got that unit. And I was like, what do you mean? I didn't get it. It was all mixed up. But anyhow, that's what happened. The fund was supposed to get tower 2 originally. Then it moved to tower 3. So tower 3 was blocked. But that's a whole nother story, a whole nother day. That was like 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago, actually. In about 3 months, it'll be almost 2 years ago when this all first started. 2021. Or 2022, at the end of 2022. So anyhow, that's the story, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why you send in your reserves. That's why you always got to make sure you're getting what you're getting. You repeat it 2 or 3 times. And because me and E. White had the first name, they didn't know my last name. They just know my name's Eric, and they never paid attention to whether it was B or W. So they thought he was me. I would call up and say, hey, man, I thought you told me you reserved that unit for me. What do you mean it's gone? And then I'd be like, well, wait, you told me I had unit floor on the 7th floor. You said I can get that unit. Yeah, well, you don't have it. I was like, what? It was crazy. It's kind of funny, though. So ultimately, I somehow get tower 2, unit 1101, I think it was. And they changed the unit numbers. Crazy stuff. But anyhow, does not matter. For everybody, in case you're buying at Larimar, I told Larimar I want my money back. I'm not sending them no more money. Whatever the ramifications are of it, I have no idea, but I'm not sending them no more money. That's all I can tell you right now. All right. Now, you think you'll be penalized with the withdrawal fee? I don't know. E. White, let me ask you something. Okay, we have a perfect example. Victor Marrero is here right now. All right. Whoever's buying at Larimar is going to be in the same situation as Victor. Well, actually not the same. Worse situation. All right. Worse. The reason why I say worse is because Larimar has not done anything. It's clear whatever's happening, there must be some holdup with permitting or I don't know, but they are not starting their foundations. So at least at Galaxy, they were starting foundations. I mean, there's movement, even though it's over time, but still, that's why I mean worse. So imagine if you gave them, I don't even know how much, I'm trying to think. Imagine if you gave them like 50,000 or 60,000, I think was the payment plan at the time, but let's just say it was 60 grand. September 2025, you gave them 60 grand and they don't get anything done until not 2025, not 2026, not 2027. You're holding that they're holding the 60 grand for 2 years minimum, because I think it's going to be longer than that. But let's just say it's minimum. So now that 60,000, when you could have stopped when you were at 20, you could have stopped when you were at 16. The penalty is if you pay the 60 and then you're waiting for 2 or 3 years. That's the penalty. So for me, I'm like, I don't see it that way. Whatever the repercussions are, hey, I'm going to sit there and talk to the lawyers, try to get these guys to negotiate and whatever it is. I'm still going to be like, I don't really care. I don't want them guys holding 40, 50, 60 G's when I know they're not going to be done in 2 years minimum. First of all, they're not going to be done in 2 years from now. That's 2026. So if they're not going to be done in 2 years, they're damn sure ain't going to be done in 3. So that's the penalty. Why give them $50,000 or $60,000 knowing full well 2027 is going to roll around and you're going to be in the same boat? That's all I'm saying. Even though I gave them the 18 months from 2025, that's still the end of 2026. And that was just so the payments roll out further. So then when 2025 rolls around and the end of 2025 rolls around, you still would have given them minimums amounts. And then you would know, like at the end of this year, if they don't start building by the end of the year, then you clearly know things aren't going to be done in 2 years. That means 2026 is gone. And that means 2027 is at jeopardy as well. So why would you continue? So you want to pay the least amount of money. That's why we always try to get those 10% down, 30% during construction, 60% or 70% if you could get it, which you can't get anymore, on delivery. That's why we try to get the lowest amount. That's why we want a 10% down, 25% during construction. So you only have 35% liability in case these guys go on this. A hurricane could come. Now you have another excuse why you can't build. An earthquake could come. Now you have another excuse why you can't build. All that stuff is delays. So, I mean, that's how I look at it. So those are the downfalls. That's why we want to pay the least as we can. We need special payment plans. So everybody at Seven Palms, we have a deal. 10% down, 25% during construction. That's 35%. So the same thing. If Seven Palms ends up being 6, 7 months, 8 months, a year later, at least you only put down 35%, 40 grand. It's better than 60, 70 grand or more and waiting another 2-3 years. That's the way I look at it. Because that 60K or 40K or 50K that's locked, you could have used that money, especially on a bull run. You could have bought Yield Max ETFs. You could have bought a Misty, MSTY, for $27.31. You could have spent $27,000 on that, and you could have received, you'd have 1,000 shares, and you could receive next month over $2,000. The last 2 months, you would have received roughly $5,000 in dividends from a $27,000 investment. And if they keep that up, it's going to, I mean, 5,000 in 2 months, you go 5,000 and you divide that by $27,000. That's over 20% already. Right? Is that right? It's pretty close. It's not quite. It's like 17, but that's 17%. Most people would live with 17% annually. Never mind 17% for 2 months return on your money. So that's what I'm getting at. That's why the amount of money they're holding is actually very valuable right now. You could be getting $2,000 per month. So as soon as you go above that $20,000 threshold, that could have been in some stock market funds that you could be collecting $2,000 a month. I mean, there's other stocks like ULTY, TSLY is only doing $1 right now, but hell, if it costs you $13,000 and you're getting $1,000 per month, that's $12,000 annually. You're getting damn near 90% back. So you have to start thinking about, well, and you don't have to work for it. You don't have to sweat. You don't have to think about it. If that's the going rate every month, then you're good. Nobody's going to bitch about that. So that's why, to me, we can always flip it. I don't even have to buy real estate. I could just join everybody else into getting some more shares. Spend $12,000 on some shares, right? and get $1,000 to $2,000 per month and call it a day. And then use some of that money to go buy some real estate. I mean, there's other ways to do it, but I letting it sit without being able to recoup anything back. First of all, let's go into some mathematics. When you buy assets, this is ROI. If I have, okay, let's just keep it simple. $50,000 is what I have to put down ultimately. So I here comes September 2025. I put down $50,000. That is 2.5 years, right? So 2.5 years, you departed with $50,000 with no return on investment. You're at 2.5 years. 3 years goes by, 0% return on your 50K. That's a negative, because even if they gave you the 50K back, the cost of living has risen. So you're a deficit. You can't buy the same amount of goods that you could buy over the last 3 years. So that's the way I look at it. You're losing. So I'd rather put it into something else that I know is going to happen versus something that I don't know is going to happen. So like right now, Cruise on Land, Larimar, I don't know what their deal is. They're both out there. They're both made these grandiose plays, but who knows what's going to happen. So I'd rather go with something like Oasis Lake that I know the damn Caribbean Lake Park is already operational. And all you got to do is build some buildings. We're good. I mean, I would rather go that route. I'd rather go Seven Palms, who says, and they have delivered their other projects within 2 or 3 months of the time frame. So I can't bitch about anything with them. So I'm just saying. Oh, sorry. Victor Moreau was asking, do you think I'll be penalized with the... Hey, man, they'll probably try whatever, man, to keep some money. Let's call it what it is. No matter who I am, it does not matter. It's either go home, try to, you know, like I said, I just can't see giving somebody 50K just to see what's going to happen without any guarantees of nothing. Them days are over pretty much, because when we do pre-construction, it is based on reputation. It's based on belief. And so if it doesn't get done, then your only recourse is to sue. And then now you're paying a lawyer. So your exposure, minimize your exposure, you minimize your risk. Now you can live with your risk. But you can't live with your risk when you're sitting there at $100,000 and now you can't really raise noise, right? You're sitting there, they're holding $100,000 and you're going to make noise and they're just going to go F you anyhow. I'd rather them holding 15,000 or 12,000. Well, it's more than that, but 15,000, let's say, or 16,000 than any number above that. Then they can say F me. Then I can say F you. Because either way, I'm going to be bad mouthing from that point on, right? Just like I bad mouth Primavera 2. If anybody's watching their Primavera 2 that they built villas and everything, but what they didn't build was 3 of their amenities. So those are the type of things we know. I don't want to mess with Primavera properties. And that's why no realtor really wants to sell their projects or nothing, because they've done people dirty. So that's why my video, they didn't like it. So they penalized me for giving me my money back. I could have did their lawsuit and all that, but that would have taken me another, the amount of money they owe me was more, it was going to cost me more in a lawsuit just with Johan and those guys, or Glennie, than what I was going to be receiving after their little penalty. So I was like, that doesn't make much sense. So, but my video stays up. It doesn't come down. So, hey, they penalize me, I penalize them. So now I tell the world what they did to people. And so now they want me to take my video down. That won't happen. Sorry. Because they did people dirty. So that's how we do it. And same with, you know, Larimar. If ultimately they say penalize me and say, Eric, we're not going to give you your money back, or we're going to take $4 or $5 grand from you, then I'm gonna be like, no worries. I'm going to tell people. Sorry, I'm see whatever. Do what you got to do. It ain't like I'm going to sit here and just be silent about it. Victor Morero, if it makes you feel better, they are holding 150k green ones for me. So I'm going down with the ship if I have to. Yeah, Victor Morel, that's what I'm talking about. And see, people don't realize that's 115k for 5 years. Seriously. I mean, you didn't put down 115 from the year one, but I'm just saying you probably had them paid in year 3 at the 115. So now it's another 2 years later, and they're not even going to be done next year. So, well, they could be done December of next year, because that is my when I saw what they had done about 3-4 months ago, that was my prediction. If they were serious, it would be done December of 2026. So that's like 6-7 years, man. So I'm just saying. I mean, I'm actually, it wasn't December 2026. It was December 2025. So that'd be 6 years. So it is what it is. But see, that's what I'm saying, that 115, damn. When Nvidia was $40, AMD was $30 in 2020, 2021. CMG was $600 or $700. Nvidia was $60 to $70. TSMC was like $35. Just a few $1,000s in any of those brings you up to $50,000 to $100,000 if you'd have been in those, because you would have probably put more money into those, or the QQQ or the SPY. So you would have gotten it anyhow. Actually, you'd still be liquid too. So those are the things. I mean, it ends up being what it is. We all make investment decisions, and those decisions are based on our information at the time. It's not based on we know what's going to happen 3 years from now, 2 years from now, or even 1 year from now. So we can only do that. So we can't win them all, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of the other things about investing. You can't win them all. Once you understand you can't hit home runs all the time, nobody does. No matter what social media looks like, no matter what the billionaires look like and the millionaires look like, even they, on average, fail 17 times before they became a millionaire or billionaire. So just keep that in mind. They failed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're ordinary citizens. That's what they were, ordinary citizens. They failed too. Some people would have failed without help. Some people got help, right? So that's how it works. That's how it works. Laverne Penix, Mr. Cool is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. See, here's Laverne Penix, Mr. Cool. He's saying the wave is holding 40K of my money. See, that's what I'm saying. So for me, if they're holding 16K, I like them holding 16, then 40, then 100, then 60, then 50. I don't want them holding 40K. I start getting a little upset, because that money every year could have been used, and it's devalued now, because you can't buy the same things you could buy now. Now you can buy less. You're going to have to spend 40K to buy less than what you could buy when you were giving them the money. So that's the difference. Damn. Victor Morero, what? I finished paying the 115K in 2021. Oh my God, I hear you. That money is parked there, not generating income. God, dog. Wow. That's 3 years. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't realize it was that long. Yeah, I guess that's right. 19, 2 years. Yeah, that would be, man. Yeah, see, and the worst part is what you could buy in 2021. If now it's 20, now you can only buy 75%, 75,000 worth or 80,000 worth of what you could buy. The value is dropped dramatically for that. And now Who knows what the value is when it's done, when it's built? It's going to be a lot more, though. You get the appreciation, but still, all these numbers, 40K, 50K, 60K, 100K, 75K, and you're waiting and waiting and waiting. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Eric, I'm beyond pissed. I could imagine. I'm beyond pissed with everything I've done with Primavera and Larimar. I'm pissed. And Panorama Garden. Don't forget, it all started with Panorama Garden when they were messing around with not wanting to, where they were going to make the owners pay to go to the Vista Cana Beach Club, go to the sports complex, pay for the golf, pay for the equestrian center, which you would have to pay for normally anyhow, but they were going to make you pay for everything. Third party was going to run it. And that's when I was like, hold up, man, what's happening? But Panorama Garden, Epic, they gave me back all my money. So that was cool. And then that's when I said, okay, I'll go up to Larimar. And now Larimar is acting like, what the hell? And Panorama Garden is not finished yet. So that money, that 40 or 50, actually it was a 2-bedroom costing more than yours. So that would have been like 70,000 sitting around over there for the last 2 years. So these are the reasons why I'm picking and choosing some of the projects that will be done, not 4 years from now, but maybe 3, maybe 2.5. But this 5 or 6 year thing that's happening, that's why we have to be very careful right now. That's why I like the one at Poseidonia Resorts at Aston. That's why I like that project, because at least they came clean. They just said 2028. That's 4 years from now. 53 payments, actually. December 2028. Now, that's more like it. 4 years, plenty of time, not trying to do stuff in 2.5, 3 years or 2 years, right? Beautiful. We love that. So they figured out too. They said, well, I guess we better change up. So they changed up. 4 years from now, that project's going to be done, but the prices have escalated to offset it, because when they start building in 2 years, the cost to build is going to be way more. So they have to put the prices accordingly. So a 2-bedroom's costing $349,000. This is in Cana Rock, ladies and gentlemen, out there by the Hard Rock Casino and Hotel on the golf course, or by the golf course. This particular project is not on the golf course. It's across the street from the golf course. So that's exactly my point. Pulling out now, I won't be able to buy anything that close to the water for less than 350K of the same size. Exactly. But the difference is you may not have to buy things. I mean, I know what it's one of those things, right? So let me put it to you this way. Everybody, here's the thing about housing and pricing. If I buy something, and I'll use Victor Marrero's case, $230,000, and it's now selling for, let's say, $450,000. Everybody automatically goes to, it's selling for $450,000. I have $220,000 equity. Okay, that sounds real nice. That's real great. But the thing is, since we know what his thing is, I'll use a perfect example. He has 115 that's been sitting since 2021. Since 2021, we had an explosion on the stock. In fact, the stock market has doubled. So since he invests in stocks, he would have doubled. Well, I'm not saying he would have put all 115 in there, but if he would have put 75 in there, he would have 150. He would have made 75. So my point is, it would have kept pace with today's price points. You would have been able to buy the 400,000 or 300,000. You would have still made the money, is what I'm trying to say. And it would be liquid. But now you have to wait till they build it. And in order to recoup your money, you have to rent it out. So to me, those are all liabilities, because now I got to rent it out. That's the problem. It's not like once it's built, I'm good. All of a sudden I have magic money coming in. No, I have to hire or agree to a management company. Then I got to sit back and relax and be like, hopefully we get the amount of money we need, because at this point, if it doesn't rent for $200 per night, then all that's going to end up happening at $100 a night is a 5% return. And that money could have been sitting in a treasury fund for 4.75 or 5% the last 3 years. So that's where the problem comes in. So to me, I don't know what to do. If I'm Victor Marrero at this point, I waited this long, I'll probably wait another year. If it's another year, but waiting another 2 years, or 2.5, it's almost like, hey man, just give me my money back, because Victor Marrero, let's face facts. Let's face facts. MSTY. Here we go. I'm going to do this right now. Let's face facts. Let's go. I'm going to put this on screen since I was doing it. Let's face facts, right? Look at this. TY dividend. All right. Look at this. Dividend. What is this? $3. That's crazy. That was probably in June. But nonetheless, annual dividend, $36. All right. Let's just say that's what it is. So I'm going to do this. Look at this. $27, right? And unfortunately, I don't think it goes a year back. But look here. This is like this year. But this is an example. He couldn't have done this in 2021. But all I'm trying to say is, if somebody would have put down 50,000, or actually 1,000 shares would have cost $20,000. Right now, you'd be getting $2,000 per month. $2,300, $2,200, plus you would have reinvested, so you wouldn't take the money out. So now you would have another $5,000. You would have bought another 2,700 divided by that. What is that? 100, not 110 is 270. No, it gets up there. 100. Yeah, almost. Yeah, like 16, another 1,600 shares, right? Is that right? So what I'm getting at is, then it would have ballooned into 4 G's a month on that money. And actually, you might start thinking, well, why don't I take out $2,500 a month or something? So all I'm trying to say is, in today's money, you could actually do a lot more with 20, 30 G's, especially since yield max ETFs have come out. So again, we go back to the stocks. These are yield max ETFs. All right, look at this one, the yield max ultra. All right, ULTY, ladies and gentlemen, $13.07. You know what? Let's just have this. Let's just go here. Look, let me show you guys, in case there's new people here. This is what we're talking about. Yield max ETFs.com. Why don't we just go over here and look? Right, we'll get disconnected probably, but I'll be back. Whenever we talk about UMax ETFs, we always, it's just, I can't get into this. We have issues. All right. We have issues. Where's ULTY? It's just at the company. Micro. Look at this. Here we go. Okay. What's this? Is this ULTY? $1, $1, $1, $1. It's $13 stock. This is going to be a $12, almost a $13 in dividends. So again, depending on what happens with the price of the share. And then here's MSTY, which is different because they're using some of the Bitcoin, right? Isn't this micro strategy? Let's see if it's, I think it's micro strategy, but look, oh, it is $3. Sheesh. Oh, that was in June. It was $3. It doesn't show for July yet, but I'm pretty sure an email came out telling everybody what they're going to do. But look at this. This is in the last, if you would have had stuff in April 4, that's $9 for a 20 $7 stock. 27, 2.7 goes into $9 3 times. That's 30% in 3 months. I don't think anybody's going to be bitching. You would have spent 27,000, but you would have 4,000 one month, 2,500 another month, 3,000 another month. I mean, that's significant stuff right here. This is option income, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know. So this is a little bit different. Here's DY for everybody on podcast. N is in Nancy, V is in Victor, D is in David, Y. See, this is crazy. 6.5, $2.50, $1 the previous month, $2.60. So 3 months, over $6. And NVDY is like, isn't that like $13? It's like, no, it's like 20 some dollars, right? Let me go look. Let's go look. Let's go pull this up. Yeah, $30. So again, look at the spike, because this is NVIDIA shares. And there's a lot of activity using option trading money. And they don't do option trades. They do call options, and the amount of income, they derive income from all the transactions that way. And then they share that with the people that hold these funds. But what I'm trying to say is you had $6 in the last 3 months, never mind the year. So again, that's $30,000, but you'd have $6,000 in return so far, which is 10%, 20%, sorry, 20%. So in 3 months. So you get that annually in a lot of places. So once again, and you have an upside with NVIDIA, which apparently has been happening. Yeah, a little spike. A little spike. Yeah, 39% if you'd have been in 6 months ago. So you have a little spike. So, okay, keep that in mind. So we won't go any further, because usually I get boxed out. All of a sudden, Curtis Davis, Mr. Financial, is here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here with that icon next to your name, which I greatly appreciate. And he brings his tagline, good evening, SSN family. And we know what's coming next. ABMM, always be making money. That's right, ABMM. And if you like financial news updates, we have our own. Our man here, Mr. Financial, has his own YouTube channel. It's called Chili Davis, Chilly Davis with 2 L's, Chilly Davis. Go show some love at his website or his YouTube channel. Subscribe to his channel. Click the all notification bell, because he gives updates of the stock market throughout the day, evening, and night. Just never know when he's going to pop up with something. So that way you stay in tune with the marketplace. You know what's going on throughout the day. ULTY is paying 1.13 per share, and NVIDIA is paying $2.47 exactly. This is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. You have every opportunity right now. And you know what? This run up after they reduce the interest rate, anticipating 3-4 months from now, they have no choice. Because after summer, there's going to be a lull. Back to school, people aren't going to buy. So they have those 2-3 months. So that should bring our inflation year over year, because the sellers of products and services have reduced their prices. So that brings down the inflation. So now it makes it look like it was inflation when in fact it was price gouging. And so then they're going to declare interest rate comes down 0.5. Let's go. And now these stocks will be off to the races. All the big boys, the Apples, the Amazons, the NVIDIAs, the Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, which is MSTY. All these things are going to take off because they bought Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's going to rise too in the bull run because some of these banks, some of these companies are going to borrow money and then buy more Bitcoin, increase the price plus the halving. So all this is in play. Thanks, Eric. Fire. Thank you so much, man. Facts. Powell going to make the cut soon. Yes. Yeah, I anticipate 3 months from now. Why 3 months? I just said it. July, August. Kids are starting to go back to school in August. So buying starts dipping. And then they're going to decrease prices. Then September comes. The guys are going to decrease their prices. So now it'll appear that inflation has been reduced. We've met our goal. So I expect September, if they meet in September, and let's call it towards September 20th or something like that, or October, they're going to decrease the rate. It's that simple. Because they know Black Fridays, online Monday or whatever, Cyber Mondays, Christmas, New Year, they know that's baked in. They know people are buying, right? They know that's happening. But in the meantime, they just need their friends, the banks, giving out loans. They're giving their Federal Reserve loans out, interest only at whatever low rate they can give these guys for 10 years. They're going to allow them to buy their own stocks, which that should be against the law. But it's not. So that means all of us who are in the stock market, we will win. That's why you need all the extra money you got right now. Put it into valuable companies, the big boys. Don't be shy. Just because they're at their all-time highs does not matter. It's going to rise higher. Okay? Just keep that in mind. It's going to rise higher. The government all about smoke and mirrors with the rate. Exactly. The government really has no moves. The only move they have is to restrict people being able to borrow, which restricts you from increasing prices, because now you have to increase your prices so much at 5%, 6%, 7% interest rate, which is one of the problems when we start talking about return on investments. If I have to borrow at 12%, that does me no good, because now I'm going to have to charge somebody 17% just to get my 5% return. And that's ridiculous. Well, that's what basically has happened. That's why your apartment complexes by these companies, they increased you from 1,500 to 2,200. That's not 5 or 10%, right? There's a reason. All right, you guys got to keep up. That's what all this is economics. It's voodoo. But the people with the money win. The people without the money lose. And more people have without the money. That's the side of the ledger they're on. All right. So just keep that in mind. And you got 3 years, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, not really 3. You have 3 years to get up to $200,000. All right. Here we go. UMAX ETF. UMAX. I like that. Or YMAX. UMAX ETF has something called YMAX. YMAX. We love that one. All right. Maybe that's what he means by UMAX. But it's YMAX. The letter Y, MAX, ETF. Go check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, some more. IEP, AGNC, ARR, IEP, PSEC, O for Realty, ET. I got you, Brian P. Energy Transfer, 8.8% return. Modest, but it's an energy company, ladies and gentlemen. An energy company giving you 8% returns. Dividends. I'm just saying, energy costs are going to rise. It's baked in. Come on now, get real. All right. When you're growing up, it was always oil stocks, energy stocks, your cable company stocks, because everybody's going to have cable or now streaming services, Netflix, things like that, right? Amazon, right? eBay, staples, PG&E, P&G, PG, right? Procter and Gamble, right? So those would give dividends like Shell and Marathon and, Chevron and all these guys. They give out dividends. Bank stocks, dividends, bank stocks. You might want to check those out right now. That's why you might want to hold JEPI, JEPI, JEPQ around 10%. And you might want to hold some bank stocks as well. Because if the economy rises like it should, the banks are going to do well, right? And they give dividends too, but not as high as some of these others. So all those are opportunities that the wealthy get to take more advantage of. And they leave you and me, the OCs, in dust. OC is for ordinary citizens, in case you're new here. But once again, I'm about to wrap this up. I was going to leave an hour ago, but I love talking about this. Hopefully, you guys like this discussion. Join me on Friday night. You want a business opportunity? See us at 7:55 p.m. right here on Friday night, July 5th. We'll be here with Oscar talking about InstaVid AI. There'll be the update. That'll be the latest. And you have an opportunity to put some money into friends and family rates still. Also, at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be talking about another real estate project. Another opportunity. It's off the charts right now. All right. So join us, and we'll be talking about some other assets that you can buy as well. So you'll have a couple of investment opportunities: business, real estate, obviously stock market, and obviously some other assets. That's what we do here. We need you to win in the next 2 years. All right. As soon as possible. So with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, ladies and gentlemen, and it's about to get a whole lot harder financially. So again, the government, all about smoke and mirrors, as he said, with the rate. Then he brings in the YMAX ETF. Go check it out. And all I can tell you is make sure you protect yourself. Liabilities are not it. Buy assets and you'll be way better off in the next 3 years. Get to it. And everybody, happy July 4th tomorrow. Be safe with the fireworks. Be safe with the traffic. Be safe, whatever you do, and have a little fun. And that's all we can do out here, right? And also, you got to vote this year because this may be your last July 4th. If you have not checked out Project 2025 yet, I suggest you read that. Okay, go check it out. I highly suggest it. Curtis Davis, options income, yield max, exactly. It's beautiful. All right. So once again, be safe out here, and watch yourself with fireworks and around all fireworks, because you know how insurance companies are these days. They don't want to pay out. You think you have insurance, they don't want to pay out. They'll rather file bankruptcy, not pay you, get a lawsuit. They don't care. All right. They only want to win. They don't want to take any liability, meaning pay out for their citizens and customers. So with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.